And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Digital Fiasco Live for another lovely Monday. Yeah, we're back here on Monday again, so everything's right as rain again. Yeah, lovely Monday evening.
Yeah, can't you tell? It's like, Jesus Christ.
You sound so excited to be here. My name is, of course, Dandr0id.
And I'm very excited to be here.
Are
Son
you?
of Jack McBastard.
Yeah.
Very.
McBastard is always excited to
Fiasco,
do...
not so. Okay. That's a bit too much. Gonna take it down a few steps.
it's Monday evening.
Yes.
We're just getting started here.
Yeah, just bring it down a little.
Plus, I was driving for like 6.5 hours today, too.
Yeah?
So.
Yeah, you're like coming back from the con.
Coming back from con. Literally got in, slammed down some like chicken and salad, and then like had like a 20-minute nap, and then here we are. So
I get excited. It's just that I'm tired today.
Yeah.
It's Monday, first of all.
Well, that's kind of a given, isn't it? Like Monday is just like, I'm tired.
It's almost like that's the day we do the show. But yeah, and then I'm just very tired on top of it. I slept terribly last night.
Yeah.
Just one of those things where we're in that sort of period where it's not quite cold enough to wear the heavy blankets, but it's too cold to not have some blankets.
Oh, and then when you came to the door too, you're like, shit, it's dark outside already.
It's super dark. Like,
yeah, it's nighttime already. So yeah.
It's like October. It's like lights out, fucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Son of a bitch.
Just hunker down, prepare for winter.
Seems about my lot in life at this point.
Yeah.
So,
and our new non-sponsor, MyPillow.com.
Secretly think that James Marine is like an advertising bot who's just been.
Well, he should let us in on these deals then.
Really?
Jeez.
Yes. Use promo code. Go fuck yourself.
It's an aggressive promo code.
It is. It really is. You have to really want that pillow.
Yep.
So since you've been at this con all weekend, which con was this one?
So this was a smaller anime convention in Regina.
Okay.
It's called Anacon. So yeah, no, it's not Anaconda. It's.
You knew that's where I was going, right?
Oh, sorry, Anafest.
Anafest.
Yeah.
Who's Anna?
You know that chick, whatever.
Kendrick?
No, it was Anafest. It was a 1-day convention in Regina. But yeah, Jay Tanuki was a guest there.
Yes.
So yeah.
Indeed, she was like one of the headlining guests of honor.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So yeah,
awesome.
it was. I mean, we might have gone anyways, but
Yes.
that was just extra convenient.
Don't tell them that.
It was. Well, I mean, it's.
Thank you for your patronage, Anacon.
Anafest.
Anafest. Anime.
But no, it was a good time. Of course, it's Regina. We have a bunch of our friends out there and everything, so got to hang out with them and yeah. So we didn't get to play a lot of games, but there was something from last week that I could have talked about during that time, but I knew that we were really crushed for time, so I could talk about it this week.
We do not have that problem this week.
But first, while I was there on the weekend, yeah, a little light on the news there. I know it's not in the exact vein of video games, but we spent the entire Saturday watching Predator 1, Predator 2, Predators, and then we went and saw The Predator on Saturday night.
I hear that the twist ending is a bit off.
Lacking. You know what? It's a frustrating movie.
Yeah.
Just because they had some cool ideas.
Yep.
And there could have been some good characters, but I don't know what happened to. Is it Shane Black? I think Shane Black was the writer, producer, director, whatever.
Okay.
Because he was in the original Predator movie. He's like a comedy writer for the most part, so it's kind of unfortunate because there were some good, like genuinely good parts in this movie, but overall it was very frustrating because they had some neat ideas, but every time they did something cool, they did like 2 or 3 things to cancel it out. So that ratio dropped pretty quick.
Sounds like my experience watching Iron Sky.
Did you have a expectation going into that movie?
I had an expectation. It wasn't that it was a good movie.
Yeah.
I knew where I was expecting it to be, and it kind of didn't always make it.
You set that bar thoroughly 2 inches above the ground.
I know. It was
kind of fell down
here and there.
Yeah. But yeah, unfortunately, again, like the best way I can describe it is that it was a frustrating movie because
was it better than Predators?
No, and that's the whole thing is I hadn't seen Predators yet. That was one that just kind of slipped by me.
It wasn't bad.
But I watched it and I actually enjoyed it. There was some thoroughly dumb parts in it.
Yeah.
But overall, unlike the AVP movies that just completely
horrible.
shit the bed, Predators was actually entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Like they had some neat ideas for the Predators themselves. It was kind of a neat concept that they. It was almost like a soft reboot for the original Predator movie, so it took place in a jungle, but of course it's like an alien planet, and it's all these like, you know, hunter army guys and everything. So that was kind of cool. I like that idea. The Predators were kind of neat in that one.
Plus, what director doesn't want to kill Adrian Brody?
I mean, yeah, that too. And they went after him hard.
It did.
And for the most part, I really liked that. Most of the Predator action was live action, like they actually had costumes and props and everything. Whereas that was one of the major failings of the Predator, which the new one. Was that basically you had like 2 Predators in that one, and one of them was like a classic style dude in a suit, props and like actual physical action and everything. And then, like, the main baddie Predator in that was a gigantic Predator that was pure CG the whole time. Like, they never made a prop of that or a costume of it one time. So, it really, that's one of the things that really fell short because...
Define for me gigantic?
He's 11 feet tall. They literally say that in the movie. He is 11 feet tall. So, yeah. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not like, oh, I've seen him. He's huge. He's like at least 11 feet tall. It's like, no, they actually say in the movie that he's 11 feet tall. So
apparently they also reshot the entire last third of the movie?
Yes, so they had an issue. I don't know if you had heard any about this, but they had an issue with one of the actors that was in the movie who is now a listed sex offender.
Yes, he was the other Predator.
Yeah,
that's right.
And
Kelly and Annabelle were talking about that last week.
the joke of he was the other Predator in the movie. Yes, unfortunately, he was in parts of the movie. So the easy one to take out was they had an introduction right at the start of the movie. Unfortunately, that also cut Olivia Munn's character's intro like in half. So she just kind of... The FBI guys like just kind of show up and they're like, oh, hey, bring your dog with you. And they just take her and like you don't even know who she is or what she's doing or anything like that. So that kind of made that really weird. And then he was in the end of the movie, so they had to reshoot a whole bunch of stuff. Plus, apparently, this was just a rumor that they had a really weird ending that had like good guy predators and bad guy predators and a whole other area and stuff.
You mean a really weird ending aside from zip?
I mean, it was just... Yeah, I mean, throughout the movie, you could tell that there were writing issues and reshoot issues because there were plot holes and there was stuff that happened that it's like, why did that happen? Or there was stuff that happened and then you're like, where was the payoff for that thing that just happened? So, not going to go into like major spoilers. If you want to see another Predator movie, I think it's worth at least watching. I wouldn't pay full price for it though. I mean, like this is like a Netflix or discount theater or something like that.
Like all the Transformers movies, I'll wait till it hits Netflix, you know, or Amazon Prime or something. No, yikes.
Predator's wearing multicam pants.
I'm not even sure what that is.
I don't even know.
Is that like GoPro holsters?
I was just thinking of like pants with literally GoPros all over them or something.
You know.
But yeah, so that one was, a bit of a letdown, so that's kind of unfortunate. But the big one that I didn't talk about last week that happened while I was in Edmonton for the other convention that we were at.
Yes.
And this one is something I hope that you get to experience if it comes here to our local rec room, is they just launched The Void at the Edmonton Rec Room at West Edmonton Mall. Have you ever heard of The Void before?
Not in this context, no.
Okay, so The Void, you may have heard of kind of the technology, but you didn't know like this is what it actually is. But The Void is a company that has gone in like balls deep on VR experiences. So unlike the Vive or the Oculus, where you strap on a headset, you have like some little gun, pistol, handheld things, and you're kind of interacting with an environment standing in one place.
Yep.
What The Void does is they have a physical location that you walk through, and you can experience stuff within there. But with the VR, it actually allows you to see what's physically in that environment. So you are actually moving 1-to-1 ratio through an environment, through doorways, through like across bridges and everything like that. So of course, if you just didn't have your helmet on, you would just be walking through blank walled rooms. But when you have the whole VR headset and rig on, you are experiencing that 1-to-1 in real time, everything that's happening.
Okay, so it's like AR almost.
It's but like everything is completely covered, so you don't physically see any walls, but all the VR walls are physical walls, so you can lean against them, you can touch everything in the environment and stuff like that. So
which really makes it a different experience.
Completely different. Like this is next level. Like I am a huge supporter of the Vive because I love most of the 1-to-1 gameplay that they have for it. This just like blows it out of the water. But
I'm assuming
again, this is not a home experience, of course. No. You have to go somewhere to experience this, because basically will build this kind of video game VR thing one-to-one with the rooms that they have to deal with in the space.
Right.
So the one that we got to experience was a Star Wars one. So basically what happened, I'm not going to like wreck any of the story, but I'll just talk about some of the like bits and pieces of it.
Not Dark Void.
No, it is not Dark Void. There was no three-headed dragons.
-2. -2 for even mentioning
but
Dark
yeah,
Void.
so basically it's a Star Wars story. It's about a 15 to 20 minute experience, depending on how you kind of deal with it, because there's like a bit of a branching path in part of it. But you go in as rebels disguised as stormtroopers, and you have to infiltrate this place, and then shit can go off the rails when you know, depending on what happens wherever you go.
Trandoshans disguised as Jawas.
Again, the cool part is that, so when you get in, you throw on this giant like VR headset thing with built-in headphones and everything.
Right.
It has a microphone in it, and you strap on this big vest that allows you to feel like the shots if they hit you and everything.
Okay, cool.
And it's cool because when you talk, you can hear yourself and you can hear your buddies, and you sound like stormtroopers because it's that kind of that rattly recorded
like
voice.
Flanges your voice.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're talking over a radio. So even though they're right there, it's just, first and foremost, it's that Star Wars experience. You look around,
cool.
so you don't have to wear anything outside of the vest and the VR, because I guess they have multiple IR cameras and stuff like that, because when you walk in, you don't even have a gun to start with.
Okay.
You can actually go like this, and you actually see your hands in VR. Like your fingers are moving, your arms are moving. You can like high five each other. Like it's crazy how interactive it is. And then as you go in, you eventually get to pick up a weapon, but you're physically picking up a weapon in that space. So you see blasters on the wall in the rack.
Yeah.
You walk up and you pick it up, and it feels and looks like the blaster.
Right.
But it's all happening in like one-to-one VR.
Crazy.
So the most insane part about it is it's almost like a 4D type of experience.
That's
so
too many Ds.
So you have, of course, all the VR. You have the experience of like if you get shot, it like buzzes and everything like that. But they actually have extra sound effects, wind effects, smell effects, and heat and cool effects. So when there's a part where you literally come off of a spaceship and you go onto a platform, because you know Star Wars loves their platforms without any railings on them or anything like that. You literally get onto this platform. As soon as you step out of the ship, you're on a lava planet. And as soon as you step out of the ship, you literally feel heat next to you. And as you move, you feel heat and wind sweeping past you. And it's the most craziest thing. And if you get shot, you actually smell burning from your pack and everything like that. It's like it's just next level.
When you mentioned it, I'm just thinking now EA's spin-off game, Smell Effects. You know,
just a universe of smells.
Yes. What a wonderful smell you've discovered. That sounds interesting. Like,
no, it is spectacular. It's about I think it was about $34 or something like that, and it's like a 15 to 20 minute experience. And it is just like, as soon as I came out, I was like, I would do it again right now. Like, I would do it again in a heartbeat. And
that's awesome.
Because, again, they have branching paths in a few of the parts, so you can literally have a different experience depending on, like, how you go through the story and stuff like that.
421, why aren't you at your post? He's at the Void. Getting smell affected.
Oh yeah, but
affected by smells.
But yeah, so we're getting a rec room in Winnipeg next year. So I'm really hoping that the launch goes well in Edmonton, because if it does, then I would think that eventually all the rec rooms across Canada would get some variation of this.
Hopefully they get enough patronage here, being a much smaller city.
I mean, it's one of those things, like it kind of just pays for itself too. I mean, like outside of like, because it's already the company that makes it. It's not Rec Room kind of putting up all the money for it and stuff like that. They're literally just installing it, and then the Void, which is the company, they take care of the rest of it. And the first one that was ever made for the Void was actually it was a Ghostbusters adventure one.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, that was brought to Toronto. That was the first one in Canada. But the cool part about that is, as they go along and as they make more money and as it becomes more popular, as long as they know what the map layout is, and I don't know if it's the same layout everywhere or whatever, but if they have that layout, they can overlay it with any skin, any game, anything that you want to experience in there. Like it's just amazing that they can do that.
I imagine they change around. It's probably got modular internals.
Yeah, and it's probably that. So you're not always constantly doing the same thing. But it was just, it's so well done. They said they're already working on, I think, 3 more Star Wars ones. I'm sure we'd see more Ghostbuster content. And I mean, the sky's the limit after that. Like you can go with anything. It's just whoever wants to license their
Ghostbuster
stuff
one.
to it.
They don't call me Light Show for nothing. God, I love that game.
But yeah, so that was a good time, and I really hope it comes here so you can experience that.
Apparently, Jace Marine's ska band in college was affected by smells. You probably never heard of them.
We are affected by smells.
Yes.
Well, that's unfortunate.
There'll be no.
Oh yes, and Jay Tanuki brought up. I forgot we were drinking at a party, and we also got to play Muddle Dash, which we lovingly called Octopus Punchy.
What is Muddle Dash?
Have you ever played Speedrunners before?
I can't say that I have.
No? Okay, so you might have seen it before and just not realized what it was.
Possibly.
But it's this kind of really colorful pop art looking 2D platform runner. So what it is you have anywhere from 2 to 4 players. I think you can maybe even have more online. But you pick these like superhero-esque looking characters, and it's a race from the start of like rooftops or something like that, and it's like a generated map.
Okay.
And you run along, and you have like a grappling hook, and some of the guys I think have special powers, and you're trying to beat each other to the end. So it's kind of like Smash Brothers, but a race at the same time.
Okay.
So you have effects. You can actually get into a rumble with each other while everyone's trying to run to whatever direction, and there's like platforms and like lasers and like all this other stuff that'll trip you up or knock you out and everything.
That sounds chaotic.
So it's a really, really chaotic melee race, basically.
Sure.
So what Octopus Punchy does is it's the same formula. So it is very much a race to the end, but the kind of trick to that one is you have these colorful little octopuses. You can pick hats for them and everything, so you can tell them all apart.
Why wouldn't you?
And you have a present, and you're going to a party. And the only person holding the present is allowed into the party at the end. So you're not only racing to the end, but you're beating the shit out of each other to get the present. So you're holding it at the end. So when you go knock on the door, you're the one that's allowed into the party at the end.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's just this insanely fun, really colorful, like quick little racer. Like every time you play it, like each round lasts about maybe about 1.5 to 2 minutes or you know, however long the race is, and then you just kind of go through, and it's just insanity in between.
And it's called Muddle Dash.
Yeah, Muddle Dash. We played it on the Switch, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's available on, you know, like Steam and PS4 and Xbox and all that, because it's just this fun little indie game. So yeah, that one was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was thinking about stuff we can play for the 12-hour stream.
Yeah, I mean, if you find that one might be worth it. I see Gang Beast written down there, and I fucking love Gang Beast, so I am so on board with that.
I figured that would be a good one. That's a good, entertaining one. Mm-hmm. You know, we'll get some Overcooked in there, or Overcooked 2 in there, because that's
Overcooked 2 and Gang
classic.
Beast. I could play that for 12 hours. So
well, I think we'll have a little more variety than that. But yeah. Muddle Dash sounds like something stupid from Harry Potter.
It kind of does. That's why we're calling it Octopus Punchy, because it was a way more entertaining title.
I can see that.
But yeah, so that was mine. So I did get to do some gaming and whatnot in between all the conventions. So
sweet.
What have you been playing?
Well, now I can talk about it.
Yes, please.
Yes. So Assassin's Creed
Tell
Odyssey is amazing. And I mean, I did everything I could.
You can use
to
the word now. Amazing. You
amazing,
can't like
incredible.
It was a game.
Yes, I had to use very, very neutered descriptive terms last week. But yes, the game is incredible. The graphics are surprisingly detailed. I was just actually shocked by the variety, even in the terrain, like the random vegetation you see. It doesn't look like someone's just going in with a paintbrush and doing whatever. There's
they didn't make like 5 pieces and just kind of speckle it everywhere.
And like different parts of Greece has different vegetation and stuff in different concentrations, varying terrain, like everything. Just the design of it is incredible.
You know that Ubisoft? He appreciates that.
I do. I really do.
There's not enough people that appreciate stuff like that. They just whiz by and they're just like, it was a game.
No, definitely. And I mean, just the level of detail in the villages and in the cities and stuff, like between like Athens and Sparta, it's like night and day, the design.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Listen to Jack, his heart is filled with neutrality.
Yes. I have no strong feelings one way or the other. So anyway,
aside from the vegetation,
the characters all look great. The animations are fantastic. The skill trees, I thought they've made a real improvement on those, because it's not just you have X number of skills, but there's like 3 levels that you can put points into. Mm-hmm. So just like the last one, I think you top out at level 50, but then you can still like gain experience to get more points.
Okay.
I don't know how close I'm going to come, but I'm sure that with the DLC and stuff, they'll probably bump that up.
Yeah, they'll probably raise the level cap or whatever. So if you kind of like lock yourself into one tree with like doing those levels and everything,
you can respec it.
You can respec it. Okay.
Yeah, it just costs you a little bit of money.
Okay.
I don't know how much because I haven't done it yet, but I've got like enough variety between assassin and not warrior, hunter.
Brutalizer.
Hunter. No, hunter is the bow, and my bow game is strong. So yeah, it'd be like see that guy standing on that hillside, 13 miles away.
Yeah,
that's his head. So yeah, let me tell you, half the time I'll be in the middle of a melee combat, and I'll just run a few steps out of the way and just bow a guy in the face for like 150,000 points.
So it's
of
like
damage.
you're almost like Legolas, like you almost like forego the sword or anything like that. And you just kind of dance around with a bow for the most part.
Granted, I'm still pretty good with the sword. Like it's just kind of keeping up with your level, right? As your equipment gets lower compared to your current level, and then you upgrade it, but it gets more and more expensive with every level you go up.
Yeah.
So
it's easier to pick like end game armor because it's already a higher level and it's less upgrading to keep it up with your character.
Yeah, you generally pick whichever legendary you're going to use throughout the game, and then as you get better stuff with a base bonus, you start using that, and then just keeping it upgraded. So
did you? All right, now because I'm an aesthetics guy,
yes,
was there like a set of armor you found and you're like, God damn it, I wish it didn't cost so much to upgrade this because I want to keep it? Like,
no, I kept all of the legendaries. You don't throw them away. You can't actually. You can sell them, I think, but you can't like break them down.
Oh, okay.
So that's just it. All the other shit you can break down for raw materials.
Okay.
Which you use for upgrading other stuff. So even your vendor trash is still useful.
Okay,
right?
That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And again, your engravings and stuff, you want to keep all your legendaries anyway because a lot of them are like part of a set, and you need all 5 pieces to unlock that particular engraving from the legendary. So the engraving system is excellent. I think it was a nice addition because it really makes you want to do these, kill these number of guys or with a headshot or with this weapon or that. And it's a nice, easy way to track sort of how your gameplay is and what favors your style naturally. So I think it was a really interesting design choice. The upgrade system is great. The mercenaries keep you always on your toes. Every time that fucking horn goes off, it's like, fuck, what's happening now? Am I screwed? So
I know that there's like a night-day cycle and stuff like that. So the mercs, can they come in the middle of the night then? Or
they can.
They can.
Yes.
Okay. So you'll hear that horn when it's like a starry sky and you're sleuthing around in the bushes and everything.
Oh yes. I mean, it's not going to be when you're in the middle of a tomb or something. It's like, I found you. Ah!
Yeah, well, that's what I was worried. It was be like, they find you on the can or something. It's like, oh god.
I mean, sometimes like if you're in the entrance to an area, they might come into the area. But if you're underground or inside a building, you're probably fine.
It's not like fucking Oblivion or something. You turn around and he's right in your face.
It's not like creepy Watson.
You there?
No. So anyway, but no, if you're and they sort of follow the same system as the normal characters. Like if you're out of sight, they won't actively spot you and engage you.
Yeah.
So it's only if you stay out of sight, you stay hidden. Unless they just happen upon you, they're not going to detect you anyway.
Okay.
So it's good. But it keeps it interesting. It's not just the enemies that are in the area. If you make too much ruckus, then suddenly you have these other elite units coming in, and it makes things more interesting.
Is it kind of like in GTA where they have like the police and then the army kind of thing? Like,
right.
They're like super equipped guys that are basically going to destroy you unless you run.
Kind of. It's like they are the elite units as opposed to depending on where you are, the guys are.
It's more like the police and the SWAT team then.
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, so these guys are...
Hey, Rutu, welcome to the chat.
Hey, Rutu, how you doing?
We get to finally talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so...
Yes, I can actually describe it.
Jack is glowing right now. Yes. He's so excited.
I've been playing it now since the Thursday before last, so over a week and change now. And I'm still like I
was gonna say, do you have like a percentage meter of like how much you've done?
I have no idea. I'm sure that there is. I haven't looked at the stats, but even still, I'm now starting to round out the map, which has taken forever.
Yeah.
But there are still whole areas, like giant hunks of land, that I'm still too low level to get it to.
Now, I haven't played the last like couple of Assassin's Creed games. Are they still on like the tower, the tower where you like see everything and that unlocks like that area of the map, or do they have like a different kind of way of doing that?
It's kind of like, Origins, if you haven't played it, it's basically the same system as Origins, where you have a viewpoint that you synchronize, and that will highlight all of the points of interest in your area with question marks.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you come within sort of a detection range, it'll pop them up on your map normally, and you can explore them. Hitting the I don't know, with the viewpoints, I think they call them.
Yeah.
And you synchronize will show you all the points of interest within that area.
Okay, yeah, so it is the classic way of doing it, basically.
Right, and there's like a huge amount of space.
And it's not just all Ubisoft games, just all games are basically like that now. Like you see Spider-Man does the exact same thing. You have like a radio tower that you hack, and then it's just like, whoop, here's this map, and here's all the things in this area.
Yes, but they have far fewer of those, and it's like one and done.
Yeah.
It happens like right at the beginning of the game, and it's like, you're done. That's good. So I was glad for that. But in previous Assassin's Creed game, you kind of had to do that to even see the map.
Yeah. They had like a fog of war almost until you actually went up there.
So in this one, it's slightly different. When you go into the area, it will reveal the map for that area, but not all the points of interest.
Like, so you know all the roads, the paths, and everything, but if there's anything out there, you have no idea where it is.
Yeah, so you use your eagle in general, and that will give you sort of a bigger view of the points of interest in the area, but you have to get like right up to them, like within 50 meters or so to actually identify them.
Right.
So even with all the points of interest, you still could be wandering around looking for a particular type of structure if you're trying to do something.
Mm-hmm.
If you're inside a city, it'll bring up like the major city things like your blacksmith for upgrades.
You're like core stores that you would expect in that area.
Right. Yeah, so, but basically there's only the one store. Well, technically there is two, but that's like your special items vendor.
Oh, okay.
And there's only one of that in the whole game.
Do they, because again, being an aesthetics guy, do they have, like in classic Assassin's Creed games, do they have a clothier, like, type area?
They do not. Everything is based on the equipment that you're wearing.
It's pure just armor and everything. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that makes sense for what you're doing in the game and stuff like that.
So yeah, like, unlike Origins...
Dead Restraint says you can't wait to see how Red Dead handles that. You climb a telegraph pole and look out with some binoculars or something.
Where are you, Marshall? Yeah. Oh, man. No, like, Red Dead is obviously a whole other beast. So.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, I know. Just calm down. Don't flip the table.
It's 25 days.
Yes,
25 days as of today. So but anyway, long story short, Assassin's Creed is everything that Origins was, but better.
Mm-hmm.
Also has a lot more naval combat, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's definitely different than like AC4 naval combat because it's all... like,
well, it's not cannon combat.
No, you have arrows and you have javelin.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of ramming.
Yeah.
You can actually cleave a guy's boat in twain.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
I would hope you'd probably have to upgrade before you do that. You can't just go running your original boat into someone. And
if you get him down low enough, you can.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do a fair amount of damage to be able to do that. But it's gonna be good.
Yeah, a year from now there'll be a bunch of Red Dead intervention.
I can stop whenever I want.
It's been a year, Jack. Put it down.
Not ready yet.
I'll put it down when Goats of Tsushima come out.
Goats of Tsushima, man. That's going to be the only thing that tears it out of my cold, dead hands. Let me tell you. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey probably... It may be the best Assassin's Creed game I've ever played.
See, and that's kind of surprising, but I guess kind of not, because it is the most modern Assassin's Creed game. They've clearly put a lot of time and attention into it. So,
and the story is very good. Like you really feel for the characters. The characters are well realized. They all interact with each other, and you have like NPCs that come back throughout the story, and the whole cult system. Also, where you find yourself, you'll do a mission for a guy, and then it turns out that guy...
Yeah, because you were saying it's all the masked guys, and you don't even know who you're working for.
And it's like, and it's happened a couple times where I go, I bet it, and yes. But there's been a couple where it's been a surprise, and it comes back, and it's like, oh, fuck!
That's really cool.
Yes, it's very cool. So
well, that's I'm so glad to hear that, because when they showed Odyssey, I think it was because it was so kind of quickly after Origins...
It's a year.
I was like, for a game that size, like, normally that's where you get like the tacked on DLC or like the half game in between or something like that.
Yeah.
But with this one coming out and being, before Origins and everyone was kind of confused by that, I wasn't too hot on it, but just hearing your review of it, I'm like, I actually do want to play this now.
Yeah, and it is definitely more focused on the first Civilization than Origins was.
Yeah.
Like, there were first Civilization elements in Origins, but they were largely sort of on the sidelines.
Yeah.
So Bayek would find himself in this big ruin of some kind, and there would be like holograms all around him, and you get like a blurb that was confusing, but it would make sense in the context of the larger game, but had no impact on the character.
Oh, okay.
Whereas this, like, you're in it, you have the blood of the Isu in you.
Yeah.
You are like the grandson of Leonidas. you're carrying an artifact like a piece of Eden around with you the whole game.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's interesting. Yeah. So yeah, highly endorse that. If I was to rate it, probably an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay. So it's up there.
I'm gonna give it. I mean, I'm assuming that they don't bobble the ball right in the 1 yard line, and like, it's like ghosts in my armor or something. I don't know. But
I mean, technically at this point, they could say like aliens at the end, and it's not that far fetched. So
oh, that's the other thing. Speaking of aliens, they have supernatural things in the game, and I was really, really concerned that I was going to have to fight Medusa, and how does that make sense in the context?
Yeah, because obviously we've talked about it, the giant snake in Origins,
right?
But that had its reasoning. Yeah. So in this one,
they don't do the same thing again, but there's some kind of first civilization chicanery going on.
Okay.
Because I won't like spoil it, but you kind of get the sense that it's not literally that thing.
Oh, okay.
But it's something.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, I was satisfied with what they did. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know specifically like the actual explanation for it, but I have a feeling I'll get that eventually.
Yeah, I would hope so, because they're not just going to leave you hanging on something like a Medusa.
Right. Like the most supernatural thing that you're going to see in the game are some of the major quests you have to go on for a hunt.
Yeah.
There's like a whole Artemis quest where you're hunting like larger than normal beasts.
Okay.
So it's like some of them were
like dire bears and stuff like that.
Yeah, get dire aids from no. Well, I mean stuff like the Nemean lion, like that was a famous test of Heracles, right, or Hercules, depending. And like several larger than normal beasts, like a huge wolf, a big boar.
I think it'd be funny if you went on this quest. Or, oh yeah, there's this giant tiger and this giant boar, and you go and they're just like normal size. Just the guy was a pussy. He just
oh,
is that it? Stick it, and you're like, all right.
It was a mighty struggle. Fought day and
some
night
rodents of unusual size.
They're a myth. All right. So yes, excellent game.
Yeah.
If you like Assassin's Creed, definitely play it. If you are not into Assassin's Creed, still maybe play it if you like Greek mythology.
It might even it might even bring some other people up to speed because it's this origin almost at this point. So maybe that would kind of get them back into it. Or
if they were going to do that, they should probably start with Origins, just because they still have the future plot line and it is concurrent. Like the second half.
You should play Origins before you play Odyssey,
because the future plot line carries on into Odyssey. And I've not yet. You actually play some levels as the character from the future. Yeah. Like in a place doing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Sort of like in Assassin's Creed 3 where you had Desmond.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I like that. I like that when they split it up. It makes it feel like the game it's supposed to be. It's not just, a history game and that was it.
Right. Yeah, no, I like that. I really hope that they get it more sort of intertwined, because that was part of my favorite parts of the franchise. So didn't know nothing about that, but I love 300. Will me and my brosefs like it? Well, if you like 300, you actually start off in the Battle of Thermopylae at the beginning of the game.
That's a good start.
Yeah. So, and it gives you a sense of the whole. There are large scale army battles where you're fighting essentially with like battlefield style tickets with Athenians and Spartans.
Oh, okay.
And you have to go in and like effectively target captains to be able to really swing the tide in your favor.
Okay.
So you're wading through guys fighting. So
is that kind of like the added on kind of gimmick? Like they've always tried something new in a lot of the different games. Like they've had your assassins team that you can send away to get money and stuff like that. And they had like they had that small like battle simulator, like tower defense one in one of the games.
Oh yeah, in Revelations, I think it was.
Yeah, and then they have this one, which is like a war simulator kind of thing. Yeah. So is that kind of like that's that side little bit that you can do?
It's really just kind of an extension of their existing engine. Like a bunch of guys are on a blasted plane, and there's like 100 fucking soldiers all beating each other senseless around you. So it runs really well.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, they don't overdo it.
Yeah, no, and it feels like it's not just them, like in canned animations. If you wander too close to someone, you will attack them and they might attack you. You're getting like attacked from all sides while you're trying to wade through this battle. So
all right,
it's very cool, and you do it all throughout the game. So all right, that's my thing.
Cool. Well, that sounds exciting.
It is. It will hopefully tide me over until Red Dead comes out.
25 days left. So
yes. All right, folks. This is, of course, Digital Fiasco episode 22, Digital Fiasco Live. We are going to talk about all the latest news in PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and PC gaming. And before we get started, what say we talk about some announcements?
All right.
October the 13th, we're having a 12-hour stream.
Yep. So, 2 weeks away.
Yep.
We're having the 12-hour stream on the Saturday. We're
2
going
weeks
for...
away. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
yes.
I know. It's a little different when you say it that way. But yeah, so 2 weeks away on the Saturday, we're going to be going from noon until midnight.
Until midnight.
It is going to be 12 hours of awesomeness. We're going to be playing lots of party games. We're going to be eating spicy tacos.
Well, probably about 10 hours of awesomeness and 2 hours of, middling.
No, Janus Marine, not 24 hours.
Not
Sorry.
24 hours.
When we have, like, a million viewers and shit like that, then maybe we'll consider a 24-hour one, because, yeah, that's you have to be dedicated, really fucking dedicated to do 24 hours.
We'll do like a subathon where like the
yeah,
subscribe.
we can even do something like that. So
12 hours of middle-aged DDR.
I can't do 12 minutes of DDR.
I should start, man. I could use something because this isn't happening. If I gamify it, maybe this will be. Yikes.
Just consider it 2 12-hour streams.
Yes. 50 lashes with a cat of 9 tails, or 30 lashes with 3 cats of 5 tails.
But of course, it's so it's going to be 12 hours. We're going to have the return of everyone's favorite, the spicy taco roulette.
Oh, yes.
We're going to be playing the party games. We're going to be playing some other random games. We're going to have some of our local Twitch guests on here.
Indeed.
And it's going to be an awesome time. I can't wait for it. I had an absolute blast last time.
Yep.
It's just, you really need to build up for this kind of thing. So I've definitely been looking forward to it.
And Daniel will be joining us from Player's Guide.
Yes, Daniel from Player's Guide.
And
we're going to be
here for most of the day.
And of course, Mr. No Beard, one of our favorite fans / Twitch streamers. And,
Indeed.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. I hope everyone can make it for that Saturday, even for part of it.
As long as I don't have to eat any baby food.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
God,
there might be a few surprises in store.
Oh my God, that was so vile. Like, whoa.
And you wonder why babies throw their food across the room.
Yeah. Yikes. All right. So what's new in the Triple D?
Hey, Triple D this week. Of course. The big shining one in the room, you just talked about it. Of course, we're getting Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So digital and retail is coming out on the 5th.
That's correct.
So yeah, look forward to that one. Of course, his glowing review, and
Excellent.
And it seems to be getting good word around the entire internet. So that one's obviously going to be worth checking out.
Yeah.
If you have PSVR, they brought out a new addition to I think it's the Playroom or the Rec Room or whatever. Like, it's the little robot guys. So they have a brand new addition to that called Astrobot Rescue Mission. But that one, for the first time, you actually pay for this one, so it's a more involved game, whereas the other ones were kind of tech demos almost.
Sure.
So yeah, I look forward to that one, because those ones are always a good time. PlayStation actually puts a lot of love and care into those titles.
It's actually part of Phase 2 of the PSVR we'll talk about later. Shuhei Yoshida had some stuff to say about that.
There we go. Awesome. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
And then one that you've been looking forward to, Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. So this is the one from the Yakuza developers.
That's correct.
And it looks fucking insane. I cannot wait to try that one, because I mean that thing's insane on its own, but the gameplay looks really crazy.
I've heard some really positive things about that one, actually.
That's good, because I think their last one, or they had 2 previous ones that were more of like the Musu type games, and they weren't good. They were just a slogfest. So unless you really, really liked Fist of the North Star, you weren't going to have a good time with those.
No, you'd have to really like it, though.
Yeah. And my shining darling of the week here, Mega Man 11 finally comes out. So yeah, look forward to that one. We've seen a lot of gameplay. They've had a demo on PS4 and I believe Xbox, where you could play Blockman's stage.
Blockman?
Yeah, Blockman. He looks like a barrel made out of blocks, and he transforms in his boss fight. It's really fucking cool. They really upped the ante with these boss fights. Like
Blockman.
They took them to the next level, because before it was just like, little dude jumps around the screen, throws some projectiles at you. In this one, these guys, they do a lot more in their boss fights, so they really went all out with them. But the music, of course, is awesome. The graphics are nicely updated. It still feels like a classic Mega Man game, but it is definitely updated, with a modern, like, 2.5D look, and it's just smooth as butter. So I cannot wait to play that one.
Cool. Just quickly sending off a text to see if we had gotten a code for Fist of the North Star.
Oh, yeah. Might as well check in on that.
Oh.
And, final one there is WWE 2K19 Digital Deluxe. So that is 2K19 with all the goodies, I think. So it has
for certain values of goodies.
Yeah, certain values of goodies. I'm sure they'll have more DLC for it, as they always do.
The latest WWE, like I haven't really liked one in a long time.
I don't think they've made like a proper good one since I think 2012 or something like that.
I would go further back.
Is it
2007?
Well, I mean, of course, the classic like N64 ones that we know and love so much.
For the PS3, the 2007 was decent.
Yeah, like the 2K. Was it even 2K at that point, or was that a different company that was making them at that point?
No, it's the same company. They had a slightly different. I think it was WWE versus Raw or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's the same company.
But yeah, it's been a while, unfortunately. But yeah, if you like your wrestling and you need the year after year updates, that one's out for you there.
Yep.
And that one comes out on the 5th.
Yes.
So I don't know if you had anything to add to that.
Yes.
It was a slimmer week this week because I think everyone's just scared of Red Dead and staying away from it.
Well, there's the actual release date for Forza Horizon 4. If you did not want to get the Super Ultra
That's
Edition.
right, yes.
Yeah, so the actual release date is tomorrow on Xbox One and PC. If you want to pay the normal price and not the I'm going to screw you price. And of course, October the 5th, the game that we cannot possibly ever get, Super Mario Party for Switch, comes out.
Oh man, damn it.
Nope. I
have to get a Switch of my own.
Yes, you will. Yes.
I'm really glad that they brought out another one because it has been a while since they've brought out a proper Mario Party title. So, and I don't know, I still will never understand why you hate it so much.
It's just so random and pointless.
It's a good party game though. That's the entire point of it.
It's absolutely not.
Did you like Fusion Frenzy back in the day?
I don't. Which one was Fusion Frenzy?
It was on the original Xbox, and it was basically Mario Party, but without the board game factor. It was just the mini games, and you played for each other for points, basically.
So kind of like Super Monkey Ball.
No, but the mini games were really varied. Like you'd be whack-a-mole hammer, you'd have the hamster ball thing, you'd have little
Monkey
racing.
Ball had a lot of different mini games and stuff.
It was still very the core part of it was a monkey in a hamster ball doing a race like along a tilting path and everything. That was like the core part of that.
Super Monkey Ball.
Fusion Frenzy. If anyone in the chat has played that, you'll understand. Like that is it's very much like Mario Party with its mini games, but without the board game aspect. It was literally you just score points for winning those games, and by the end it would just you'd have your winner of whoever won the most games. But it was more, it looked like a future Japanese game show style kind of thing. So you were normal sized humans in like Tron looking armor, and all of the effects and all of the game stages and stuff like that looked like it took place inside of like a computer generated machine kind of thing. Like it had that kind of futuristic look to it and everything. It was a really fun game. It was definitely one of the best things on Xbox OG. So yeah.
Halo?
I said one of. I said one of. I didn't say it was the best.
No, I have literally never heard or seen that before.
Really? We'll have to check it out. Maybe we can get our hands on a copy of it because it's really good.
Well, I mean, maybe if it plays on the 360 with backwards compatibility.
I think it does, actually. I think that was one of the first ones they made backwards compatible because it has such a fandom.
I only have a couple that are backwards compatible. One of which, of course, being like fucking the Sneak King.
Of course. They had to make that backwards
Sneak
compatible.
King, man. That's classic. All right. So we have some anti-releases of a sort.
Okay. So are these more releases that dance around Red Dead because
not exactly.
they don't want to get squashed?
No, it's more like it kind of falls into the category. We have a bunch of servers that are shutting down.
Oh,
for games.
Okay, all right.
So it's like there was a release and now it's going away. So it's sort of a post-release anti-release. PS3 servers for PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale for Twisted Metal, like the newer Twisted Metal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Warhawk. Warhawk is finally shutting down.
Like PS3 Warhawk.
PS3 Warhawk, which has been around for 11 years.
That's insane. I didn't even think that they were still up.
I mean, you can still do, like, you can host your own server if you want to dedicate your server to it with your own console. Mm-hmm. So technically, there still could be Warhawk servers out there.
That's crazy.
Forever. But I loved that game back in the day.
I remember enjoying that one. That was a blast to play that one.
So let's compare that. That was released in August of 2007.
Yeah, that was like a friggin' release title.
Right. Well, no, it's like the second or third year of its release. It was young because it came with the earpiece, the first original Jabra earpiece.
Yeah.
The Bluetooth headset.
Didn't the PS3 come out in 2007 though?
No, it came out before that. Look that up. I'm pretty sure it was 2005.
PS3 release date.
Something like that.
All right, so that was 1 year old. So PS3 release date November 11th, 2006.
Okay, 2006.
Yeah.
So yeah, a year, well, less than a year old even at that point.
Because I remember getting the one early because it had the headset with
Right.
it, and it was just a really fun game.
It was an excellent game. I played probably more of that game than almost anything else at the time. Drawn to Death, though, is sort of the other side. It's shutting down in March.
That one was that was an unfortunate story on that one.
Yeah, less than a year after. I mean, after being in beta for like 3 years or something. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But I don't think that one really ever hit its stride. Like, fantastic idea and aesthetic, but
honestly, I think it was a couple years too late. If that came out 3 or 4 years ago, I think it would have hit it big. But yeah, it's just really unfortunate because you're just in this sea of shooters now, and everyone's already kind of picked their side. Unless something new and fresh really comes through, everyone's already playing the game that they're going to want to play for the next while. Yeah,
and the soft release really hurt it. Like, when it came out, people were saying, hasn't this been out for a while? And, because they'd already played it in beta for years. All right. So, PlayStation Plus for October 2018.
Oh, that's right. It's October 1st today.
Yes, so as of tomorrow,
yeah,
we're getting the other one. We already had Dead by Daylight. We're getting Friday the 13th for PS4. That would be an excellent one to do multiplayer.
Yep.
Laser League.
So this one I checked out because I was wondering, because it was the other like core title that we're getting. I'm like, this must be big or something like that because I've never heard of it before.
Is it?
I went and watched a trailer for it, and it looks like it could be fun. This is something we could play on the 12-hour stream because it's kind of like...
Okay.
It's kind of like Tron mixed with like...
Why is everything like Tron today?
Well, because it actually has like the exploding like lasers that'll like... They get put on the field and they like cut you in half and everything like that kind of thing.
Okay.
Like it's like Tron bikes. The laser thing follows
Light
you.
Cycles.
So they have
Tron bikes.
They have an arena that has these like laser things in it.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, I want to say Rocket League, but you have people. So it's like a rugby football kind of thing in a laser arena, and you can like attack each other and stuff. And it's a top down like brawler kind of thing. So it's like a brawler sport with lasers.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, it looked interesting, and it's just like a couch co-op one. So I think we should.
And are you like, do you have a ball that you're trying to?
Yeah, you have like a ball, and you're trying to get it to a goal on the other side, and then you have like the guys trying to attack you and take the ball and throw it in your goal. So
it sounds like an overhead version of Unreal Tournament with Bombing Run, I think it was called.
Well, this one's definitely more sport orientated. Like I said, it feels a little more like a Rocket League type thing, but you have people instead. But yeah, it looked kind of interesting, and it's one of the core releases. So I'm hoping it's at least good.
Well, you can't ask for your money back. I mean, it's free, so you're getting it.
Yeah, that's true.
For PS3, Master Reboot. I'm assuming some kind of hacking game.
I think that one was a cyberpunk first-person shooter. It was an indie game that used to be on Steam, I think.
No, I know that one then.
Yeah, I think that was the one.
That was supposed to be like really weird.
Yeah, like cultish almost.
Yeah.
Like there's
like Lawnmower Man shit.
Yeah, like there's like a digital VR cult that tries to take over people or something like that. Like really weird weapons and.
We're talking about like that's the plot of the game, not who made the game, right?
Okay. It could be either one.
First one, then the other.
Based on a true story.
Yep. And we're also getting The Bridge, which is PS3, but it's also cross-play with PS4 and Vita. I don't know what The Bridge is.
I have no idea what that one is, but I am excited about the final one on the list.
Oh, yes.
So.
Well, we're getting Rocket Birds 2 Evolution, if you're a big fan of Rocket Birds.
I don't even know what Rocket Birds is.
It's a fun game. It's like a kind of
a... Is it like Angry Birds?
Well, yes, technically.
Oh, okay.
It is like picture... What was that one?
Is it like a bullet hell shooter or something?
No. What was that one that we were playing multiplayer where you had like it was a side-scrolling commando one and you crafted a bunch of shit?
Oh, Mercenary Kings?
Mercenary Kings.
Yeah.
It's like that, but you're birds.
Oh,
like if
okay.
If Foghorn Leghorn had like a bandana and a fucking chain gun.
Yes, okay, I know that one now. Okay, yeah, it looks like a Super Nintendo game, and you're literally like a military bird with
it's
like
awesome.
a bandana and everything. And okay, yeah, no, absolutely, I would totally play that one. I love Mercenary Kings.
Don't tell Travis I said it was awesome.
And
2064 read-only memories.
Yeah, which I started playing on your PlayStation, and I was like, I love this. I need to play this, so I'm glad it's actually coming out. So
and of course, it's crossplay PS4 and Vita.
Yep.
So that's handy. That's what I love is like typically even if you're getting Vita games, they're cross-play ones.
They realize that they're giving away a bunch of these games, but they might as well make them cross-play because a lot of people, they either don't have a Vita or they don't want to plug in their PS3 just to play this other game. So They're just, here, have it on your system. Just have it.
I'll be very happy when they finally do that with Yakuza, so I can just play them all on the PS4.
Or they just have the sweet remaster on a disc for you.
Remaster. Well, I mean, they're already two games into it, so
exactly. I don't think they're going to stop now. I think they're going all the way.
We have like 3 or 4 pages of news.
Okay.
So I'm not sure we've wasted enough time yet.
Well, let's talk it up. You never know. Some of these things come up, and then we'll go off on a tangent about something. Or
probably not. Okay. No, it's going to be a short episode tonight. Okay, so probably the biggest news for the week. We'll just get that out of the way. PlayStation, Sony started down the road of finally allowing crossplay for select third-party content.
This was huge. It was all over Reddit. I couldn't, if you were in any of the video game things, PlayStation subreddit, anything around it, it was everywhere. People were cheering left, right, and center.
Yep.
And it's awesome. I'm glad that they said, all right, let's fucking do this. Let's just get it done. They went in with Fortnite.
Yep.
And of course, the consideration will there be for other big games such as Rocket League, Minecraft, the other ones that people have been asking for forever. And that's the whole thing is, again, I've been on this thing of I want them to do this, but of course they of course have the power to do this or not do it, and they're allowed to limit it, which I totally agree with. I think that if they just take a few of the core ones that people are really, really clamoring for, I think that's all they really have to do. I'm not saying do it to every single game, because that's not necessary, but the really, really big ones, I think more or less it hurts more than it helps, and I think they should just, definitely look into Rocket League and Minecraft after this. But yeah, this was a big, big thing this week.
So you ready for me to piss on your parade?
Well, go for it.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Welcome, Damon Wade, to chat. He's playing on PC anyways.
Playing on PC.
As a lot of people are. A lot of people are. Yeah.
They have cross-play between other PCs, where most of the people are anyway.
Yeah.
So, PlayStation who? So, first things first, it's got to be on a case-by-case basis, and it's not necessarily even something that Sony will be the final one to say, yes or no, because
of course, because it's crossplay. They're not the only say in it, obviously.
Yeah, well, it's going to be, Microsoft, they're all on board with all the PR they put out. Oh, why doesn't Sony allow crossplay?
Mm-hmm.
And they had Minecraft, they had the Nintendo and the Switch together.
Yeah,
it's like, we'll see how long it takes Microsoft to actually make Minecraft crossplay. Then they can throw some fucking stones. But here's the thing: we are now 2 years probably at a minimum of 2 years from a PS5 release. So anything that's going to be made basically for the next 2 years is probably already in the pipe. If it's already released, it's going to have a pretty compelling reason for a developer to go back in and patch in crossplay. So Fortnite will do it for sure.
Yeah,
because it's
the biggest thing right now, and pretty much ever at this point.
And I mean, Rocket League already does crossplay between PS4 and PC.
Yeah,
so that one will probably be easy. And then maybe Minecraft, because Microsoft has egg on its face at this point.
Yeah.
But there's probably not going to be a lot of call for it. And realistically, I think Sony is of the mind that they are so dominant in this space that any sales they might lose as a result of this, they're going to just gain back in good PR.
Well, not just good PR, but again, it was that whole situation that I put forward that if I have a PS4, my buddy has an Xbox.
Yeah.
He's been playing Rocket League forever, and I'm not willing to buy a different system or something like that. But I really want to play as soon as they add that crossplay, I'm gonna buy Rocket League right then and there. That's instantly, and that's a sale on their system. But it's something that this person only wants to play with their friends or something like that. Then they've just got that sale from.
But here's the thing, though. Statistically, if you are Sony, 2/3 of the 8th generation audience are on your platform already.
Yeah.
So chances are it's going to swing the other way. You've got the PlayStation 4 and your buddy is going to be the one, do I buy Rocket League or not? And of course, Sony doesn't give a shit if you don't buy Rocket League for another platform.
And to be fair, one of those other things that counts is hours played on their system.
Yeah.
So if Rocket League is sitting dormant on this dude's system, and all of a sudden he starts playing 20 hours a week of Rocket League, that just adds huge numbers on their end of things too.
Yeah. I think at this point it's more that whatever bump that could put into Sony sales, it doesn't even make any impact on them. Who the hell is still playing Rocket League?
everybody.
Well,
they have international like esports champions for it.
Yeah,
Like
they have esports champions for like the original StarCraft as well.
All right, we're not talking the fucking like 9 million or something that World of Warcraft has, but Rocket League is still a huge thing.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like for the places where sales can make an impact in terms of software sales, which is really all that Sony cares about, you know? Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway, they've already said that Fallout 76, they don't have any plans to do crossplay yet.
Yeah. I think that one is smart because they're going to hedge their bets about, like, they're going to wait for it to come out, see what the response is like, see what the sales are like, and everything like that. Because, you don't just patch that in instantly. Like, that takes a lot of man-hours to figure it out, make it work properly, and everything like that. So you're not going to launch it day one with that if the sales are just going to be shit or it's going to be a game that nobody wants to play. I'm
kind of worried that Fallout 76 is going to be shit to begin with.
Well, and I mean, as we've seen after the quote-unquote Fallout after E3, after the trailers and everything like that, and the non-answers to some of the questions, we have gotten some of those answers now, but still, it's not
encouraging.
It's not that buzzworthy like Fallout 4 was, where people were they were in from day one. Now 76 is one of those kind of questionable ones.
Yeah, like they've tried to do these sort of Fallout spin-offs before, like the Brotherhood of Steel one, that was like the tactical one, or it was, okay.
Honestly, I think the only thing that's ever really stuck, and it stuck big time, was of course New Vegas, and that it was done by a completely different company.
Yeah,
so.
But I mean that was a traditional Fallout in as much as like Fallout 3, like they pivoted to first person,
you mean like an alternate type of game,
which is effectively what Fallout 76 really is. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm perfectly willing to be proven wrong. And I'm sure Todd Howard would love it if I was wrong. So. All right.
That's more money in his pocket.
So, speaking of new projects, Google has just announced a brand new thing that they are doing.
Okay.
Through Chrome, they are launching Project Stream, which is a cloud-based video game streaming service that will run through Chrome.
So kind of like what we have with Xbox, not arcade, Xbox... What's their... Oh, no, wait, they don't have a stream service. It's download.
No. I'm talking about it's going to be like OnLive. It's going to be a streaming game service.
Okay, yes. But that's what I mean, though, is like
Now.
You pay a subscription, and then, you play all these games via the cloud.
Yeah, and right now they're just running a technical test to, they say, solve some of the biggest challenges of streaming. Streaming blazing fast games, like fighting games that have never worked over streaming services. Well, I mean, there's two things that are going in their favor.
Okay,
first of all,
so here we go. So what is Google's advantage on this that everyone else has failed to do so far?
Well, first things first, they have literally a initiative to improve infrastructure, like Google Fiber.
Yes, Google Fiber, their gigabit internet, but it's only in very select cities in the U.S. right now.
Right, but I mean, if they can make this work with a streaming service over their Google Fiber, that is like a proof of concept that this service could work. Like, it obviously does work in Japan. PS Now is a lot more used there than it is here. So, I don't know. The other thing is, of course, that you don't need to have like anything but your browser. So theoretically, people who use Chrome already, you're already going to be equipped to start streaming stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, I'm not against a new service like that coming up, and I totally agree. Like, this is the way things are going. Yeah. I don't think we're there yet.
I absolutely don't.
I'm also on the other side of it too, of like Google. Canada likes internet too. Bring your fiber here.
Like some Google Fiber.
We're in Winnipeg. We're in the center of the country. We just give us it here. Make us your test bed for it. Like, we're ready.
Bigger internet.
And I mean, honestly, if you bring Google Fiber here, I will gladly try out your streaming game service.
Yes.
Now, have they said anything about like licensing? What kind of game log they're going to have?
I'll tell you what they're testing with right now, with a limited number of participants that they have selected, and you can sign up for it on their website. Participants will be able to stream Assassin's Creed Odyssey starting Friday.
Okay. Wow. So they're like right at the front edge there.
Yep. So they're working with Ubisoft. They're starting to test with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
And that's that's a pretty high-end game.
It is.
So they're really pushing it from day one.
But here's the thing: according to their stats, the minimum requirement is a 25 megabit connection.
Oh, really?
So that's still not huge.
Yeah. No, that's That's not bad. I definitely have more than that.
Yeah, like several times
Yeah.
more than that. So, Internet 150 or Internet 300, like ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, Dragon Quest. I'm still working on Dragon Quest 11.
Yep.
A lot of people really like that game. I don't know what sales are like in the West. They've not announced them yet.
Yeah, it's been kind of quiet since it came out. I've heard good things from people I've asked about it, but for the most part, yeah, there haven't been the the horn shouting, saying, "Oh, Dragon Quest 11, greatest Dragon Quest game ever! Well, it sold all these numbers."
It's really hard to hear over the Spider-Man first and then Assassin's Creed after.
Spider-Man is pretty loud right now, so
so for like weeks, Spider-Man was huge. Now Assassin's Creed Odyssey is going to be huge. A couple weeks from now, it's going to be Red Dead Redemption.
Yes,
and then it's going to be you're not going to hear anything for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So who knows? But I mean, like Persona 5. Dragon Quest has a big following.
It has a built-in fandom, definitely. Yeah,
including myself.
Yeah,
and of course Albel, but he doesn't play games; he just buys them.
Well, he buys games, he plays them, but he doesn't finish them. So.
Yes, indeed.
He likes to start games. That's what he does.
So Square Enix has been talking for the longest time. They want to bring more of Dragon Quest to the West, which I would absolutely love.
Absolutely, but more people need to experience the series.
But they're again, Square Enix is pulling that shit like they did with Deus Ex and the original Tomb Raider, where it's like, we need Dragon Quest to sell in the West, even just a certain amount, if we want to keep making localized versions. Just kind of you gotta buy that Dragon Quest game. It's a pretty nice Dragon Quest. Would be a shame if something would have happened to it.
Would be real nice if they, fucking advertised it or something, that would help.
I mean, I don't know what they do here. Obviously, in the States, they probably put a lot more of their ad buys in, but there's been no release of stats for North America, but apparently they sold over 2 million copies in the first 2 days of release, combination of PS4 and 3DS in Japan.
That's not bad at all.
That's Japan, though. Like, that's great, but it's Japan's their main center.
Okay, so they don't have numbers on North America
no,
then.
They don't. I mean, Japan, those are huge numbers for Japan.
Yeah, because Japan's tiny, and also the fact that that's over a weekend. Like, we're shouting about numbers for God of War and Spider-Man selling 3 million in one weekend, and this game can pull off over 2 million copies in a weekend. That's solid. That's really solid.
That's also 2 million across both PS4 and 3DS, though. So, but it's still a lot.
Yeah, that's first weekend. That's 2 days.
2 days. 2 days. Yeah, but until we see some North American numbers, we don't know how successful they are. Because if you recall, like when the original Tomb Raider sold 1 million copies, they were like, "Oh, that's not a lot."
Yeah.
Million seller used to be a big thing, but for Square Enix...
I think one of the tricks of that, too, though, is that Tomb Raider was expected to be... It's definitely a more North American-targeted game.
They probably
Whereas this one, it's kind of like they were set for Japan to, jump on this one, and then North America's sales, I think, are just gravy after that. So, I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see.
Damon Blade, you debated on getting it. There's a PC version, though. Which game are you talking about? Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed or
if it's
Dragon Quest?
If it's Dragon Quest, they have a PC version.
Oh, they do? Okay. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if that was like a PS4 only. Or
but if he was talking about Assassin's Creed, you have to deal with that Uplay bullshit. And as much as I love Ubisoft, I refuse to play...
Ubi, please. You don't need Uplay anymore.
I would
put it to bed.
I would love to play Assassin's Creed 4.
Quest, there you go.
Yeah, see, Dragon Quest, they definitely have a Steam version of that, but I would love to play Assassin's Creed 4 on the PC, but I refuse to deal with PC Uplay. It's just garbage. It's bad enough that I have to deal with Origin, with EA.
Yeah. Because that one they just shove down your throat left, right, and center.
That one's kind of unobtrusive, but fuck Uplay. Sorry. So I got some good Switch news, and I've got some bad Switch news.
All right. Fire away.
Okay, you remember a couple weeks back we're talking about Nintendo Switch Online and their whole cloud saves.
Yes.
And we weren't really sure how long they would maintain. Like, if you let your subscription lapse, all your cloud saves would be gone. Maybe not. They didn't know. Mm-hmm. They've actually specified that you actually have quite a bit of time to resubscribe. So you actually have 180 days. From the game.
Right.
Yeah, so if you let your subscription lapse for some reason, basically 6 months, as long as you sign back up.
That's good. That's a reasonable amount of time. It isn't just like you have 48 hours to buy back in or something like that.
Yeah, that's super reasonable. I was thinking like 2 weeks, 30 days, something, but like 180 days, that's crazy.
Yeah, and Damon Wade also brings up the point, as we've heard before, Ubisoft games are notoriously CPU hogs too.
Well, shit, any wonder. I mean... huge open world sprawling thousands of guys fighting on a beach somewhere. I mean, it happens. So, of course, you can only access your cloud saves with a subscription. So if you let them lapse, they're
locked away in a vault, and Nintendo's just sitting on it then.
Yes. But, 180 days later, you come back. You go on vacation a month, you come back, you're fine. 6 months. It's crazy. So the bad news is that Nintendo Switch Online, of course, has had some issues.
Since day one, really. But
here and there, an issue or two. So
they're still figuring this whole internet thing out.
yeah. So apparently, because you need Nintendo Switch Online now to play any game online.
Yeah.
That's why they call it that. Apparently, some games that have an in-game store to buy DLC.
Okay.
You can buy your DLC, but you can't download it through the store because the game is interpreting it as you being online. So you can buy it through the eShop.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
And it works, but if you try to do it through the online store in the game, it doesn't connect, or you can't get at your DLC.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So
does it bring you to a page and then locks you out, or
they've got to patch it? If you had DLC, right, you bought through the in-game DLC the system, and then you let your subscription lapse, you were locked out of it.
Oh,
yeah.
So buy all your shit from the eShop. Don't buy it in game.
But I mean, they're gonna fix that. It's just someone didn't think before they made the game that way.
Yeah, Nintendo doesn't understand the internet. Yeah, that's basically it, Damon Blade. And that's the whole thing is it shows. But again, that's something that will only get better with time. They will patch that in. They won't have any problems in the future. It's really unfortunate to see up front.
Yep.
But
they are virtually a console, like a virtual console
of some kind.
Virtual console. Anyway, so EA has done something interesting. And I say interesting when I say...
Does it have to do with Origin?
It does not. Well, not directly. You know how EA is trying to get around some of the loot box legislation in certain EU countries?
By asking people nicely to contact their congressman or something?
Yeah, well, that was one thing. Like, oh my God. Yeah.
Wow.
Fight that fight
Way
for
to go,
us.
EA. You don't understand this shit at all.
We're behind you 100%.
Yeah. You go tell them that you want us to rip you off.
You go first, Indy. So, EA now, when you were, say for example, and I think this is the test case here, in FIFA 19.
Yeah.
You can see all the probabilities of the packs of cards you're buying.
Right.
Before you buy them. So you hit a button, it's like show pack probabilities. It tells you in black and white how likely you are to get any set of cards that you want.
Yep.
So right now their most powerful cards are called the ones to watch, and they're like your star football, or if you're North American, soccer football players. And there's 23 special versions of players that are better than the normal versions of those players.
Because they're packs of cards and they're like special. So I always think of like, ooh, I got a foil player, and he's like all chrome on the field and everything.
It's kind of like that. But what it is these the ones to watch. Their stats will actually go up as the real life player does well in games.
Oh, okay.
So their stats will get even better over time than the normal guy. So it's interesting, but these permanent ratings boosts are only applied to these 23 cards, and it shows you in black and white how badly the deck is stacked against you. No pun intended. So looking at a premium Electrum players pack, I saw the screenshot of this. So for a gold player that has 75 plus in his stats, you get 100%. So these are like a decent pack.
Okay.
If you want 82 plus for his stats, that's 41%. Okay, that's not so bad still. To go from 82 to 85 drops your percentage to 4.3%. So that extra 3 points really sends that curve downhill. So these ones to watch, they literally say it as less than 1%. So, I mean, that could be anything. That could be like, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 20,000.
Yep.
Less than 1%.
And there's lots of places that this is, you legally have to do this now. You have to show that. I know China's a big one behind that because of the rampant addictions to like smartphone games and stuff like that are all clickbait this kind of thing. Like, they have to show the chances and the ratios and whatnot now.
But you take the pachinko balls next door. You're not gambling. It's just this place really likes pachinko balls.
Yeah, exactly.
It's next door.
They just have a large collection. That's all.
It's a different place.
But no, that's what it comes down to. And I'm kind of glad that, you know, if you're gonna have this, at least show people that you are more or less kind of scamming them. Like, you have almost no chance of getting the things you want until you buy and you buy and you buy. Like,
if you get the
that's
stats,
basically it.
If you get the stats and you still buy, it's like tax on the stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least they're being transparent about their scumminess.
Yes, and that's the whole thing. That's the important part right there, is at least if you're going to be scum, say up front, here's how scum we are.
Nope. That's why I got out of Magic in the first place. Like, I will deal with living card games where you buy a deck and you know what you're getting, and then you just keep up with new ones. That is, like, still fucking expensive, but you know what you're getting going in.
Yeah. Well, it was like even the, you know, kind of like the Star Wars miniatures that I like. Like, you buy a ship, but you get all those cards, but you know exactly what you're getting in that box. So it's like, is this worth the money?
Yes.
This type of thing, or Magic the Gathering or whatever, it's like, well, I'm buying a pack. I have no idea what's in here.
And half of it could be useless to you.
Exactly.
Like, I need another 50
lands.
Well,
I mean, you dive in and you spend, you know, say a couple $100s on cards or something, all these booster packs and stuff like that. You know, that ratio only dwindles that much farther, and all of a sudden you're opening packs where you have doubles and triples and quadruples of fucking cards at that point.
On a separate note about FIFA 19, but also hilarious, one of FIFA's real-life championship club sponsors, championship league, rather, is Sony. So in the Switch and PC and Xbox One versions are big PS4 Pro ads on the sidelines.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's awesome. I love that they can, like, basically get away with that.
Well, yeah, it's because EA, like, they are like, all the endorsements for the players, all their gear, all their shoes, it's legitimate to what they are in real life, including all of the advertisements around the edge.
Yeah, because isn't there a football team that's also sponsored by Microsoft? Like, I thought they had bright green jerseys and it was like a Microsoft jersey or whatever.
I neither follow Microsoft or
like, I almost feel like I've seen that before, but that's just kind of funny to see a PS4 Pro ad in, like, other, you know, on other consoles and everything.
It was actually in a Nintendo Direct where they were playing the game. Big PS4 Pro ads on the sidelines, and they're all just stoically playing. Not commenting on it. That's hilarious.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering Arena is open beta. Yeah, they're taking my money.
See, that's how they get you.
It's all the card games that I think Elder Scrolls has their new one out in beta now. And,
what's that one called?
Oh fuck, I don't remember. I signed up for the beta, and then after my foray into Hearthstone, and I'm kind of done with it now. I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna bother opening it.
That's the one where it's like 3 lanes, and it's like. Yeah,
they have like a weird column thing to it. It's like they wanted to do a different take on it because they didn't want people to just be burnt out on Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering or whatever. So they kind of made their own game, but it's still going to be the same thing. You're going to pay for packs.
Yes.
You're going to have these randomized assortments of them, and you're like, oh, I got this one awesome card, and then one season in or 2 seasons in, it's going to be pointless, and then you're just going to buy a whole new deck.
No, like, we saw it at the Bethesda conference.
Yeah, they showed it off.
Yeah. All right, and we were talking about it earlier. Sony is doubling down on VR. So, hot on the heels of the discussion we had last week about the potentially PSVR 2 patents that were registered.
Yeah.
Sony Worldwide Studios president Shuhei Yoshida is saying not only are they going to continue to support VR, but they're doubling down on it. In an article on the PlayStation blog in Japan, Yoshida said that users want games they can play for a longer time. So based on such expectations, I came up with a strategy of making full-scale games of larger scale in the 2nd and 3rd years. Titles with a deeper gaming will continue to increase in the future. So he mentioned the Astrobot Rescue Mission and Firewall Zero Hours as examples of their schedule. So both of which are larger scale games with either lots of content or like a large replay time.
Yeah, exactly.
Big replay value. So other titles like Blood and Truth and that new one from Software, Deracine.
Oh yes,
it's like, which I don't know what it's about, but looks creepy as hell. So that'll be interesting to see. Hopefully they'll have the new PSVR that'll like manage your motion sickness a little bit better. Yeah,
I'm really hoping that they have those add-ons, or if it's built into the headset or whatever it does. I would love to see that because I am a huge fan of VR. It's just I have to really, really watch what I'm playing, because there are certain things that I can spend 5 or 10 minutes and all of a sudden I'm like done. I have to like lay down and my motion sickness takes over. But VR, again, being a huge VR fan, I like to see Sony pushing on this and actually saying, yes, we're gonna go in deeper on the games. We're, you know, quote unquote, gonna have, you know, a better, newer headset and everything like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, because that's one of the things that VR was missing. Because we've been in VR, like, you know, it's out in the wild for the past 2.5 years now to the consumer. So we're Oculus Rift, Vive, PSVR.
A bit longer for Oculus, but
yeah, but that was still kind of like demo stuff, and there wasn't really much going on. But still, up to this point, a lot of the stuff is experiences, shooter arenas, you know, little puzzle solving things and stuff like that. But we haven't hit our stride with like core games in VR yet.
Sure.
And that's the part that I'm waiting for, because I've seen a few tastes of that experience. And I want more, but we need the devs to bite. We need them to start making those games. Because there's one that I played for the Vive called Starseed. Starseed something Ocean. Like, they had like a secondary title. But it was a chapter-based game.
Did you find out what went wrong?
Shut up. No, it has nothing to do with the song. But no, it was amazing, because it reminded me of playing a Myst-esque puzzle-solving game where you're going around a mysterious island, and there's like interesting puzzles and little kind of shooter sections, and a really deep story where you're not just being told stuff, but you're kind of involved in it. Like, you're learning stuff through stuff you can pick up on a table, or you'll hear like a voice recording, or you'll talk to someone and they'll be, you know, tell you kind of part of it. And it was really, when you're in that type of game, it's one thing to kind of be thrown that exposition, but when you're in VR and you're in the center of that exposition, it really, really enhances it that much more. So I'm really looking forward to more experiences like that. And then that one, of course, because it was a little slower paced, because it's more of a puzzle-based, kind of story-based one, there was no motion sickness. Like, it worked really, really well. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to more of that, and I hope that that's what Sony dives into.
Now you mention it, the one thing that they should remake in VR is the Journeyman Project. That series was excellent.
The Journeyman Project. I haven't even heard of that one.
It's like, it was one of the original CD-ROM games, like early CD-ROM games. So Myst and Journeyman Project were
Under hand in hand.
Under a Killing Moon, Myst, and Journeyman Project were the very first CD-ROM games I remember playing. But it was basically, you were a time traveler from the future.
Yeah.
And it was like a Myst-style puzzle-solving thing. You go from area to area.
Yeah.
So, but in the later games, in 2 and 3, it had this... it was actually the pioneer of that 3D technology where, you know, you look at a house listing online and you're like in the room and you can rotate it anywhere.
Oh, so it's like one picture, but you can like spin the camera and it feels like a 3D environment.
Yeah, so it was like one of the very first ones to use that technology. So you were in like a bubble in real space.
Yeah.
And you had like actual like FMV people that came up to you and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it felt like you're like nodes, but it was in a real 3D space.
Cool.
But yeah, see that in VR would be awesome.
Yeah, and again, that one-to-one, like being in the center of that story and interacting with those people or those puzzles and stuff, it just really enhances it that much more. So, and again, with PSVR not being like a total like stand-up one-to-one arena shooter style thing, like it's, you know, more or less you're gonna probably be sitting on a couch to experience that one.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, there's obviously, you know, you have raw data on there, and there are a few of the other shooter type games on there, so you can do that, but this type of thing, you could sit on a couch, you could chill out, and really have a thorough experience playing a game like that.
Well, the new PSVR, they talked about having cameras mounted on it, so it seemed like rather than being...
so we're getting like maybe a VR AR kind of situation.
Well, it's more like it's kind of the same situation with the Vive, where there might be room scale stuff, because the positional tracking is like the helmet out.
Yeah, so it scans the room and it understands it in 3D space.
No more your Tron ice cream cones.
Yeah.
All right. So last week, Xbox division head Phil Spencer announced that on November 10th in Mexico City, Microsoft will be holding their 4th annual Xbox Fan Fest.
In Mexico City?
Yep, branded as X018.
Okay.
So they're building the X018 in Mexico and making them pay for it. They are going to live stream.
It's XO in Mexico.
They're going to live stream the entire event on their weekly Inside Xbox episode. They're going to probably stream it on Mixer.
Yeah.
For more details, you can go to xbox.com/X018. What I really want to know is, are we going to see either Crackdown 3 or are we going to see some Scarlet teasers of some kind.
They're gonna have to show something. I mean, this is like their PSX event.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that they saved something from E3 to show at this event, rather than just being like, here, we brought the games, and then everyone kind of plays them. I'm sure that's nice for the people that are there because they can test out all these demos. But I still want to see something new out of that. I like it when they saved one of those surprises for the end of the year.
So when's Black Friday? That's the
that would be November.
I don't know the actual
It's after
date.
their Thanksgiving. I don't remember exactly when it is. I think it's the second week of November or something.
Third Tron reference. Thanks, Jack. Yeah, it's about right. So, I don't know specifically, but I do not think they would announce hardware at that specifically because that would completely depress their hardware sales for Christmas.
No, we're looking strictly software.
Right. So, and I still don't think you're going to see anything till 2020. At a minimum.
I don't know. They like to tease people from time to time, so you never know.
It'd be like February 2020, just like the PS4 did, and then you'll have that year, and then it'll come out in the November. Mm-hmm. So a couple years. So anyway, and back on the good news, bad news theme, this year on Friday, Sony announced that they're not going to hold a PSX this year.
Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. I mean, it's if you look at their schedule, right, they really don't have anything new to show at the end of this year.
That's true, because even at E3 this year, we were a little underwhelmed because it was either stuff that we knew full aware of, or it was just kind of like more of like, we already knew about this game, but here's a new level from it or something like that. So I guess it's not that big of a surprise because they obviously didn't save anything to show. So that was it. They did their whole thing at E3.
Not really. And I mean, you think about early next year, you have Days Gone, and there was one other major exclusive that's going to be in that time frame. You have Days Gone, you have Death Stranding, you have Goats of Sashimi.
That's later though, isn't it? I don't think that's early 2019, is it? I thought it was like mid.
I don't know specifically when. And there was something in January, wasn't there?
I don't know.
February is Days Gone.
Let's see here.
I think it's the 22nd of February.
PS4 releases.
So anyway, they probably, everything else, like long term, is probably already heads down in PS5 development at this point.
Oh, it's not PlayStation specific, but Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out early.
I don't think that was what I was thinking of.
Yeah, Last of Us 2, Death Stranding. Screw off.
So you remember when Sean Layden said, hopefully we won't have to have this conversation about name changes at the next PSX?
Yeah.
He fucking canceled it so they didn't have to have that conversation this year.
Yeah, I think he was a little afraid of some lashback on that.
Jackass. Death Stranding will never actually be released. Fun fact, apparently it might be out soon.
Yeah, like we're talking like...
It's going to be PS4 for sure.
Yeah.
So it's sometime in 19 or 2020.
I'm thinking like 2019 at this point, because whatever they show now is definitely rolling into like, here's some fucking gameplay. This looks more like a finished game now.
Maybe.
It's still weird as fuck, but I mean, hey, it looks like a game now. It isn't just a bunch of like creepy, pre-rendered CG stuff.
Right. It's Kojima. I mean, we could be anywhere from, a year to never.
Yeah.
So
he could just release some creepy, weird, like Easter egg trailer on his website, and all of a sudden it comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely being able to like basically lift and shift the Decima engine and just start to code immediately.
Yeah, that was huge for him, and it shows that they really did their homework when they were picking their engine. So he made a smart choice with that one. It's clear it's working out very well for him.
Yeah. Oh, Horizon 2.
We'll have to play the board game until that comes out.
It's so not the same. But anyway,
I did watch that video though.
With the guy?
He's just like Thunderjaw, whoomp, and it's like a 2-pound figure. Like,
right, you could kill someone with that.
Like you could bludgeon them with that. It's crazy. I just want to buy that just to have that on my shelf. Like,
do not bludgeon anyone with a Thunderjaw.
No, please don't.
No, that will void your
Commander
warranty.
Santa, welcome to the stream. And yes,
hey, Commander Santa.
You're buying Death Stranding? I think we all are.
Commander Santa was just in the hospital.
Oh, did you make bad pretzels or
no? Bad pretzels. God, that would be. Actually, he's been doing those cooking streams.
Yes, and he's doing a killer job on it.
Check out Commander Santa, our Digital Fiasco alumnus, on his cooking stream. But
he likes to make a lot of bread and bread-orientated objects.
But we are glad that you are feeling better and not dead.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so we got some quick hits.
All right, do it up.
Hitman 2 is gold.
Booyah.
That's going to be out November 13th.
Wow, really?
Super quick.
Holy shit, I didn't even know it was coming out in November.
Yep. And it's going to be like all of it at once.
Wow, that's crazy.
The other games, so Yeah.
The all-in-one package.
T3s help with that. More drugs.
Yeah,
Excellent.
T3s always help with
well,
that.
we're glad you're feeling better, though.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Good to have you back.
Any time in the hospital, like no matter how short a period of time, is
I don't even like
awful.
visiting people in the hospital. I don't like hospitals.
I was in like for pneumonia a few years ago, and I was in there for like a week, and by the end of it, I just felt like horrible.
Yeah.
You know,
you feel like you're not even on planet Earth
No.
anymore. Like,
well, it's largely because of the sleep deprivation, because they make those beds out of wicker and lies. Oh, it's fucking
it's so they're
horrible.
recyclable.
Oh my god, it's like they make hospital beds out of the same material that you get like a fold out bed from the 1970s.
Yep.
Oh,
It's like a cot with wheels on it.
yeah. And all of your mattresses are just stuffed with like empty pudding lids, or I don't know. It's just they do not.
Well, I
feel
gotta
like-
put
oh,
them somewhere.
Terrible. Anyway, we talked last week about Castlevania Requiem, Symphony of the Night, and Rondo of Blood.
Oh yes.
I have my reservations.
Okay. Did they change some stuff or?
That's the problem.
Okay.
It's digital only, first of all. So that's
I'm fine with that, but I'm a digital guy, so I'm okay with that part.
see. That's just it. It does not look like they've done much to them.
Okay.
Because like Rondo of Blood was like Dracula X in Japan.
Yeah.
And yeah. So anyway, because it's digital only, it bypasses the only possible route that I would have to get this, because you're giving money to Konami. And I'm not giving money to Konami.
Oh, yeah, there is that side of things, I guess.
I was excited about that. Then I thought to myself, oh, shit, yeah, it's Konami.
Yeah.
I would have to give money to Konami, and I have sworn off doing that. So until it maybe drops down to a
you know
a
what?
steal,
I'm of two minds on that, because I don't want to give money to Konami, but I also do want to give them money if it means that we possibly get more Castlevania. Like, it's one of those things you want to support it because you're like, no, you're doing the wrong thing. We don't want pachinko machines. We want Castlevania. We want a game.
but
not a fucking gambling game.
Yeah, and then they're just gonna right now raid their back catalog with the minimum necessary effort to port something, not putting any effort into it at all, and you're rewarding them for that. And it's going to be like a $28 game or something.
You know, that's a bit of a toss-up, too, because sometimes you don't want them to remaster a thing like from the ground up, because they can really fuck things up like that,
Okay, we're not talking about like a Squaresoft Final Fantasy, what was it, Final Fantasy 9
No, but sometimes they'll go in and
Trigger.
they're like, oh, we did a bunch of work. We remastered the music and filtered the graphics and everything, and it sounds and looks like shit, and you don't want that.
That's just it. If they're going to do something and release it, they should do it properly.
Or Damon Blade says, screw it, just get the originals.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, Rondo of Blood you can't get in North America, at least not without an emulator or something.
Yeah.
But I'd be perfectly fine with that because it only screws Konami, allegedly. Anyway, so October the 26th, it's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Also, fan favorites: The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel and the sequel Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 2. They're coming west, actually. They're going to be released in North America and the European Union in early 2019 by Xseed, and they're going to have dual audio.
I don't even know what that is. What's a
like
Legend of Heroes?
It's a Japanese RPG, like a JRPG.
Oh, okay.
They're really good. They are one of those 80 to 100 hour JRPGs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're good.
A proper JRPG then.
Yeah, but it's based on the PC version, so check it out on Steam. And Shadowgate, we talked about this a long time ago.
Oh, yes.
It's actually being remastered for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Okay.
It's going to be out in the fall of this year.
Interesting.
It's a ground-up remaster. It's got a new interface. It's got cutscenes. It's going to be like a whole different experience from the original NES.
Wild. Okay.
Yeah, it looks really good. I was a big fan of the original. That and Deja Vu. They were both from the same company. I don't even remember. Was that a Jaleco, I think?
Yeah, that sounds...
I don't know.
Sounds about right. That would have been one of the older companies like that was working on those.
Yeah, but it was like a point-and-click adventure, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So both of those were really good.
When are we going to get a remaster of Shadow Man?
Oh, Jesus. Well, I mean, you never know. They remastered Painkiller, so...
That's true, yeah.
You know, but Shadow Man, I don't think really...
It was interesting. I played it on 64 and enjoyed it. I liked it just because it was weird and different.
Speaking of which, that just came up the other day.
What's that?
We were talking about first-person shooters for the PS1 back in the day. Do you remember Disruptor?
I know the title. I never played it. I saw it at Blockbuster and stuff.
That was an Insomniac game.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, for the PS1. It was published by some other company. But
okay.
Yeah, Insomniac apparently worked on it.
Wild. Yeah, I didn't even know like how far back Insomniac goes really. Like,
yeah, just a weird kind of piece of trivia.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Apparently Commander Sant is a fan of Disruptor.
Yeah, Disruptor was awesome. I was a big fan of Disruptor. Disruptor. Insomniac was it
that was their first game apparently.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Yeah, but they've been making really good games for many years. I remember playing that on the PS1. I had no idea it was them. Someone mentioned it. I don't remember in what context, but it was like, wow, that was Insomniac. I remember that game.
Well, they go way back then.
Yeah, we sold a lot of those back in the day. That was back when I was still selling the games. So Mark of the Ninja Remaster, we talked about that before.
Oh, yes.
You know what? Turns out that's way closer than we think.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that because I fucking want that.
Yeah, it's coming out for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC next week.
Sweet.
October the 9th.
Awesome.
That's going to be sweet.
Yeah, that is by far one of my favorites. And yeah, absolutely going to get it again.
It looks like a really good remaster. I watched a video of it. It looks very cool.
Honestly, I owned it on Steam and it looked gorgeous anyways because it had the hand-drawn animation to it and everything, so it already looked really good.
Yep. Looks like there's also a price drop for the PS4 coming just in time for Christmas. Apparently in Japan they've already done it. It looks like with the latest hardware revision, it's going to bring the price down about $50 for each of the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I was wondering if they were going to have a break on the Pro also.
Yeah, there is a new hardware revision that they're just releasing in time for Red Dead Redemption 2. Mm-hmm. So it's probably going to be available on the shelves very soon. So possibly just in time for Black Friday, you're going to see that price drop.
Sweet.
Yeah, maybe preemptively if they want to blow out the old hardware.
Yeah.
It's usually what they do. According to Capcom producer Matt Walker, Devil May Cry 5 will apparently run at 4K at 60 frames per second on the PS4. PS4 Pro, excuse me.
I was going to say, definitely on the Pro.
It'll still run at 60 frames per second on the normal PS4, but not at 4K, obviously.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's still not going to be native 4K.
The game looks gorgeous either way. That is not like I need this in 4K because it looks fucking good already.
Yeah, as long as it's 60 frames per second. That's the key.
Especially for a Devil May Cry game.
Yeah. And speaking of 2019, fun fact. Based on a YouTube video that was released on the PlayStation Music YouTube channel.
Yeah.
For Outbreak Day, the release date for Last of Us 2 has just been narrowed down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So it was playing music from The Last of Us 2 in relation to Outbreak Day, and it was a new composition by Gustavo Santaolalla.
Yeah.
And it lists in the credits music from The Last of Us brackets 2019.
Oh, okay.
So looks like it's going to be next year.
Well, honestly, I was already ready to be in that wheelhouse anyways because again, the
window's only so big.
Yeah, the window's only so big. We haven't seen a lot of gameplay, but we also know that they've been working on it for a long fucking time.
Yep.
And I think they're ready for this. Like we're probably talking September, October 2019, right. I think.
Yep. And I am definitely up for buying that twice when they inevitably have a remastered or whatever the definitive edition is on the PS5. I will definitely buy that twice if I have to. And last but not least, after the implosion of Telltale Games last week, turns out that most electronic storefronts have actually delisted the final season of The Walking Dead.
Oh, really?
So you can't buy it at all now. So PSN, Xbox Store, Steam, and GOG have all stopped selling it entirely until they get their shit sorted out.
Okay, I was going to say, so it's going to come back after they...
Maybe. Hopefully.
So there's some people that won't even get...
Correct.
Like the second last chapter, basically.
Well, they probably didn't, like a lot of them, they didn't even release the second episode, the second chapter of that episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or of that season, rather.
Yeah.
So rather than dropping it, they just pulled all of it. And GOG, for one, is not offering refunds. So I don't know exactly how they're going to manage this, but they're already in a position where unions of game developers are already just raking Telltale over the coals for wanting to go to other partners and make the last two games.
Yeah.
It's like, if you have money to make the game, why aren't you paying your guys back, like their severance pay and whatnot?
Exactly.
So they're in a bad position.
Yeah, it's not a great time for them, unfortunately.
No, which is, it's unfortunate for a lot of reasons. But what can we do? All right.
Yeah, you knew it was going to happen.
Disruptor, I hardly know her.
That was for you, Genius Marine.
That joke was bad and you should feel bad.
Quick note on the Telltales thing. Do you feel like some developer is going to swoop in and maybe want to buy up some of those licenses and do their own version of them?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. I mean, the licenses, it would kind of depend on their contract. Depending if it's like from contract law, if someone were to acquire Telltale as a whole,
then they get everything with it.
Yeah, those contracts might survive the transition. I don't think they can just sell off like contracts that are tied to an IP that another company owns.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because it's like, I know it's one of those things that, I mean, when we saw THQ and all them go under, like their licenses were like, here you go, who wants to buy them, kind of thing.
Yeah, but for THQ, it was all of their IP, right?
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a different situation because Telltale does not have any original content.
Right, yes, because it's all other people's licenses, like The Walking Dead and Guardians of the Galaxy and Batman and all that other stuff.
Minecraft and...
Yeah.
Tales from the Borderlands.
She just really learned it from watching you.
Yeah, it's like I give Al Bell shit all the time for the puns.
Yeah, and you just fucking do it 10 times worse.
But I do it because he is so known for it, and I lean into it, and he says he loves how pained I look as I do it. Because he knows I don't enjoy punning.
You're only hurting yourself.
It's true. But it's like, as long as you're king of the ashes, like you'll burn the house down with you in it to be king of the ashes. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so let's talk about the big ticket.
Okay, what do you got?
Today, the gameplay trailer for Red Dead Redemption, part 2 of the gameplay trailer came out. Showing us yet more. And of course, there's some additional information we've got about the game. So we're going to do a little Red Dead wrap-up.
Yeah, so luckily I watched this right before we went on the air, so it's pretty fresh in my memory.
So 25 days. Comes out October the 26th.
I can see you shaking right now. You're just like, oh, I need this game.
See, here's the thing. I don't know at this point when we're getting our advanced copies. So I may have to rearrange my schedule at the last minute.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Because, I mean, I can, play it on release day, but if I have it ahead of time and I cannot devote time to it, then I will be all day long with the shakes.
Like, it's just, you're sitting there working and it's sitting across the room and you're like, it's cold in here.
Yeah.
I need to play.
Clock's going backwards. Oh. Anyway. So
first world problems, Jack.
I know. So anyway, the Red Dead Redemption PS4 Pro bundle they revealed today. There's going to be a dedicated bundle that has the game in it. It's going to be the brand new hardware. It's got a disclaimer on it. Apparently, there will be PlayStation timed exclusive online content for 30 days.
Okay.
So this could be very similar to the original Red Dead Redemption. There was a fixed, I don't recall what it was like. It was a special raid. I don't know what they called them, like events or something.
Yeah.
But it was like a location. It would be a special event.
It was like a heist or something.
Right.
Like
it was
that
a
kind
barn
of
thing.
Yeah.
And I think that the Xbox got it like 6 months after the fact or something. But it was actually a really good raid. So I think that it was broken at first. It got us a lot of experience immediately. But probably something like that. But they say it's timed exclusive online content for 30 days. So we don't know what that is. It'll be interesting. It has 105 gig install.
This was interesting. I saw this the other day, and holy shit! Like, again, I talked about this to you like probably a year or two ago or whatever. But I remember way back when we were playing Diablo 2 on my buddy's computer, and we bought it from the store, and we came home and we installed it on his like brand new rig. He upgraded his video card and everything like that. We went to install it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it says, do you want to like do an install or do you want to do a full install? And we saw the little brackets next to it said 1.5 gigs install. And we were like, holy fuck, that's the biggest install we've ever seen in our entire lives.
Yep.
And now we're dealing with a console game that has a 105 gigabit installation.
Yeah.
And the people without upgraded hard drives in their PS4s are crying right now. Because that is a big portion of a 500 gig hard drive. Like, when you have your other PS Plus titles and your Spider-Man on there and like all the other stuff, like it fills up pretty damn quick.
Yeah, that's why I slapped in a 1.5 terabyte before I turned the thing on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, some information about Red Dead Online. Rooms in Red Dead Online will support up to 32 players.
Oh, okay.
It has a first-person mode, by the way.
Oh,
the
neat.
game.
You can just hot swap, like you can just switch in and out of a first person?
Yep. That's not just in the online, that's in the actual game.
Cool.
And kind of neat, which I think is a really cool thing, they have a cinematic camera like they did in Grand Theft Auto 4.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So you can, like, riding on your horse and, cinematic camera.
You have that
going
nice
through the
drone
desert.
shot from back there, and you can just ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, and it, like, does the normal little swap between side view, front view.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. For mini games, dominoes are added. Poker's going to be in it. Finger fillet, they showed that.
Yep.
Fuck that game. Liar's Dice, noticeably absent.
It's not that exciting to watch, so they probably just didn't want to put it in the trailer.
Fuck you.
No, it's exciting to play. It's not exciting to watch.
Right now, Liar's Dice or GTFO. I'm telling you.
So wait, are you instantly going to give this, like, 5 marks off if it doesn't have Liar's Dice in it?
I might.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
Liar's Dice was such a important part of our experience in the original Red Dead in free roam.
So this is a AAA title, Wild West story.
It's a serious thing.
One of the most glorious looking games ever. It is going to be a spectacular game, and yet you're going to mark it down harshly if it doesn't have one small mini game in it.
Well, it's a feature that was in the previous game that they are now taking away. I want to see Liar's Dice when I can look at a guy and see him twitching and sweating and stuff. I just don't want to see extra fidelity on Liar's Dice.
It's not even Red Dead. It's a Jason's Liar's Dice simulator.
It's like I'm really playing virtual skee ball.
Yeah, featuring horseback riding.
It is pretty much. It's kind of funny. Like a few years ago, one of our friends online, he said, "You want to play some Red Dead Redemption?" He's like, "We're doing Liar's Dice." I mean, yeah. We literally went into Red Dead Online and just played Liar's Dice. It was so fun. So very fun. All right. There's some other details about the AI and NPC interaction system. So we already said that how you could talk to everyone.
Yeah, you can talk to everyone, and some people will tell you to piss off, other people will tell you their life story.
Right. So this is coming from Red Dead Redemption 2's director of design, Imran Sarwar. He says the gang and family, the gang are family. Like this is your I guess it's the Williamson gang, the Bill Williamson's gang.
Yeah.
Gang are family, and they have relationships with both Arthur and each other. So when you're not out in the world, you're doing your own thing. You're relaxing with them in the camp or heading out for supplies with them, staging a heist or some other activity. The gang know when Arthur's in camp and when he's caused trouble out in the world. We had to upgrade all of our gameplay and AI systems so the gang members were smarter and equipped with better memories so that they would respond naturally to Arthur and invite him into conversations. So once we were committed to that, we realized we had to push those ideas out to the way that Arthur interacts with everyone, which led to the creation of the interaction system that exists for the entire world. Whether it's a shopkeeper, a lawman, or a passing rider, you can interact with them in a variety of ways without ever drawing a gun, and those options will be contextually based on what kind of person they might be and the situation you're in. It's a huge leap forward and immerses you in the world in a way you've never been able to do before RDR2. So not only that, but apparently individual NPCs, they have memories about your past interactions with them.
Oh, okay.
So if you screwed them over in the past, they're going to hold it against you in the future.
So what I want to do to test that out is the first city I go into, the first person I see, I'm going to shoot them in the foot. And then I'm never going to see them again until the very end of the game. And I'm going to interact with them and see if they're either limping or if they say, you asshole, you shot me in the foot. I think that would be an ultimate test of their AI system and their memory system.
Cool. You sadistic bastard. Okay, apparently they have over 200 animal species, including 19 different types of horse species.
And 150 of them are cougars.
Oh my God.
They're like Pokemon. You can catch them, train them. They have one that shoots fire.
Here we have the very rare tree cougar. Jack's just in the corner, curled up. He's got his friggin' horse blanket around him.
Oh, JT, he's not going to die of gangrene. I'll pay for his medical bills and see if he remembers that.
It's going to be dysentery. That's what it is. So 19 different horse species. Deer, bison, and pronghorn travel in large herds. Scavengers quickly sniff out carrion. Sockeye salmon leap upstream. Wolves attack in packs surrounding their prey. Geese fly in fixed formations, and possums play dead. Rodents scamper into tree hollows. Grizzly bears bluff charge when threatened. And birds of prey soar on thermals. They all form part of a complex ecosystem and must continually fight for their place on the food chain.
So it's not even Red Dead now, it's Nature Simulator.
It's pretty close. Like, there was a lot of stuff to kill in the first game.
You would like to know if you can ride a cow instead of a horse, or maybe a bison.
In the online, you could do both of those things. You had mules, you had bison, you had a big buffalo you could ride as your mount.
That's awesome.
Yes. You had to unlock those, though. They were only for, like, your I think, second or third prestige.
So they're going to have, like, a stat that's, like, animal husbandry, and you can, like, you could ride a cougar by the end of the game?
You never know. You do have to tame horses. You probably cannot ride cougars. I would not want to ride. Like, why would I let a cougar anywhere near my groin?
Hey,
ever?
If you can train it and you can ride that shit into battle, I am so for that.
And the space duck
and the majestic space duck.
Such a majestic creature. Quack. So one thing that was from the original game, when Marston would be like gutting an animal, it would pan to him and you just see viscera and blood flying. Like, oh, this smells terrible. You know, he'd comment on it, funny. Apparently the camera does not pan away this time. So you're actually watching yourself.
They want to show the full impact of that.
Yeah, so get prepared for PETA to have some things to say.
Well, the interesting part about that too is I'm wondering if, because we saw in the trailer today, or the gameplay trailer, they were saying that you even choose what you eat. So I'm wondering if you go as far as you can be a vegetarian or something like that.
You could be.
That would be a really interesting choice. Maybe they show you killing that animal and be like, oh, that's really gross. Maybe I'll just do this and eat this instead. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to do that because, holy shit, I love steak. But that would just be a really interesting, like, little choice that you could do in the game.
I don't know if you've seen the size of those Badlands and their deserts. There's not a lot of vegetation out there. So
you eat, like, bread and cheese and
cactus.
Like in your little satchel. And
it's like a prisoner.
Yeah, your smug level will go up if you're a vegan.
Yes.
You'll get level 3 vegan powers like in Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, Jesus.
You fly around and shoot lasers.
Yeah, so I don't know about that, but like the original Red Dead, and I'm an animal lover and I own rabbits, the very first mission you fire a gun in, you're shooting rabbits.
You kill a rabbit, yeah.
So I think you're just going to have to, like, resign yourself to it. When you skin an animal, you can either do it out in the field and, like gut it there, or you can actually take the thing whole back to either your camp or to a butcher, and you'll get more for it that way. Like they will actually butcher it professionally.
I'm wondering with how involved all this stuff is. We've seen in some other games where you can own your own home.
Yeah,
can we have like our own home on the range, like our own ranch, our own pets and everything like that?
I'm assuming, like in the original one, you would buy like rooms.
Yeah.
But in this one, you have camps. So unless the gameplay changes and you leave the group throughout this story, I'm thinking it might be just you and the gang.
Or you buy a nice house and that's your gang hideout or something like that. That would be really neat too.
All they've shown so far is actually the campsite itself.
Yeah, because I feel like James Green says Red Dead base building. I could totally see them have. That's becoming a more common theme in a lot of open world games now.
Ted Turner Simulator with his pet buffalo, Teddy Jr. That's a deep cut.
That's a Conan joke.
Yikes. Deep goddamn cut there. So when you're in the camp, you can actually use the meat that you've gutted from the animal to make stew in the pot. So it'd be like you and Carl Weathers out there. But if you have a carcass on the back of your horse,
you're going to be a target.
Well, if you leave it for too long, it'll start to go bad, and it will actually start to attract scavengers.
Yeah.
So like wolves and vultures and shit. So you don't want to...
You kill one thing, let it rot, and then it'll attract more things, and you can kill all those things to get more meat.
Use it to attract the cougars. And club them. Club them with a Thunderjaw.
Yeah, he says you can build your own Fort Kickass, Jack.
Your authority is not recognized in Fort Kickass. That would be great. See, that would be like the combination of... Here's the thing. Fallout 76, it was in a Wild West environment. I would be on board.
They might. That's the thing, is they may have that type of thing. Of course, base building light. It wouldn't be as involved as 76.
It would have to be.
I could totally see them having something like that.
And there is a big PR spiel for the horse because there's a lot of customization you can do.
Yep.
So here's the unfiltered PR spiel. Your horse is your constant companion, and you'll rely on them just as heavily as on any of your fellow gang members. So it's important to take good care of your animal. By keeping it groomed and well-fed, you'll start to see improvements in stamina, performance, and handling, and it will become less skittish as the bond grows between you. With 59 different styles of coat and a huge range of customizable tack, including saddles, horns, stirrups, spurs, you can create a horse that is truly your own and develop a personal and unique relationship as you explore the world together.
Can I get spiked armor and racing stripes?
You cannot.
Damn it.
You cannot buy horse armor. It is not Oblivion. So yeah, that is Red Dead Redemption. 25 days out.
Very cool.
Or, possibly less, but 25 days out.
It looks so gorgeous. Like if you guys haven't watched the trailer yet, just go watch it. Even if you're kind of on the fence about it or Wild West isn't really your thing, it's worth watching anyways, because just like the new Spider-Man game, this one is just mind-blowing to look at. The environments, all like the effects, the animations, especially the people, they look so real.
Right.
They've just done a bang-up job on this. I can't wait to play it.
Yep.
Pony Grooming Simulator 28. Oh, I'd love to see that. See Arthur riding around on a little pony, like just in a town.
Sure, like one of those mini Clydesdales.
You got like a pink saddle on it and everything. Like, oh, what's this little dude doing? You got like a giant shotgun on your back.
Wearing like a sombrero that's 5 sizes too big.
Oh yeah, that's one step away from like fork knife type of simulator there.
Braiding his tail and putting bows in it. Yikes. All right. Speaking of which, I don't want to throw you into the deep end, but do you know what time it is?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's time to press select on the options
menu.
Well,
because we forerun it last time because we're over time, so I'm ready with...
Still for a New Games Plus?
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
Yes.
Everything's working according to my plan.
Yep.
So, every week we do one of a number of rotating topics on what we like to call the options menu. This week, we are doing not... I don't know.
No screeching.
I don't know. And then the bronies show up. Yeah, that's about right. This week, we are doing one we like to call New Game Plus, which are games that we come back to over and over again over the years, no matter how old or what system they're for. Mm-hmm. We've played multiple times. So I will, traditionally, you go first.
Yep.
What is your New Game Plus for this week?
New Game Plus. This is one I actually haven't done in a while, but I definitely want to go back now because I think it was last year at some point I finally got to play the Ratchet & Clank game for PS4.
Necro says Cough Witcher 3. In reality, if he knows me, Cough Witcher 1, which I still have not actually... Because it's been sitting in my backlog for a while. So,
that one's been sitting in a lot of people's backlogs. But no, I played Ratchet & Clank for PS4.
Yep.
And I got like so nostalgic for those games that I'm like, you know what? I haven't done that one in a while. I've played them a couple times, and that's when I want to go back and I want to experience those ones again because the Ratchet & Clank series as a whole, or for the most part anyways, is very solid. There was only a few missteps, and they were kind of like weird secondary games. They weren't core titles. They were like... They had like that weird move one.
Oh, well, All for One goes out.
And they had Deadlocked, which was like an arena one.
Deadlocked was okay.
It was okay, but it wasn't one of the core titles.
It pretty much was. Like, it was in Canada.
They sold it as a core title. It just wasn't one of my favorites because it was very much just an arena shooter.
Yeah, but you're thinking of All for One and Full Frontal Assault.
Yes.
And I guess technically Quest for Booty, which was kind of a mini...
That was like a DLC story almost.
Almost, but it was a standalone, and it was not really a full thing.
It was almost like a tech demo for Ratchet & Clank.
I don't know.
But for
just quickly, Necro says Witcher 1 could do with a Yakuza 0 style remake. I am absolutely on that, except I think he's thinking of Yakuza Kiwami because Yakuza 0 was an original title. But I know what you mean, and I absolutely
But either
agree.
way, like bring those ones up to the grade of 3, and it would make it much more playable, I think, at this point.
Damn Blade, Albel doesn't have time to finish a game, and we're playing
it. No kidding.
That's why we never have him on the show to talk about New Game Plus.
He counts his 5-year-old game as replaying it because he's just still playing it.
He keeps coming back to it, technically.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, and there you go. Commander Santa, also a fan of the Ratchet & Clank series. Yeah, it was an interlude between the two games.
Grant is here. Kill them all. He's actually managed to make it to our stream. Typically, he's still going by the time we're done.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, welcome to the stream, buddy.
Yeah, welcome to the chat. We're kind of in our final part here where it's the options menu. So we're just talking about New Game Plus today, and that's games that we go back to again and again.
Before he goes, if he has to go, make sure you tune in on October the 13th for our 12-hour stream where Keith and one of the Shinzy boys will be joining us.
Absolutely. 12-hour stream of Taco Roulette and, shitty party games and all that fun stuff.
Anyway.
But anyways, so Ratchet & Clank, all the way back to the PS2 era. I've always been a fan of 3D platformers, and if they include shooting, extra points.
Yes.
So this one was one of the ones that, when you were in even the PS2 era, they were still figuring out some 3D platforming and stuff like that. Like, there was a lot of games which were really hit and miss with that kind of aspect to it. So Ratchet & Clank was one of those ones that just fucking nailed it. The graphics, the game feel, the weapons, the story, like, it was just a fun game through and through.
Right.
The insane weapons you got to play with, like the Sheepinator, the Dancetron, like all these different types of creative weapons, along with just a normal arsenal of things that just, exploded everything in front of you. But creative, fun enemies, really, really imaginative worlds.
Slim Cognito.
This was one of those games that reminded me of like earlier God of War games too, where you not only it looked good with stuff right in front of you, but they always had that beautiful background. It really gave you that sense of scale and that scenery and everything too. And to go back and play these, they still hold up because the controls were so solid and they were such kind of, I don't want to call it out, but a more simplistic gameplay because it was just a 3D platformer shooter, but it was just creative in the ways that you used the weapons and some of the mobility stuff that you had. So you had like your little helicopter pack, your jet pack, like all those kind of things.
You say
the rail grinders.
Yeah, you say simplistic, but some of those golden bolts were hidden in some pretty bizarre.
Oh no, and I mean
Metroidvania style.
To be fair, yes, some of those were hidden deviously. So that there's that factor. But overall, the game itself, not just the first game, but a lot of the ones that followed thereafter, they were a lot of fun. Like they basically nailed the formula on the first game, and then they only improved on it from there, except for, again, some of those side titles. But that formula was still there. They just tried a little something different with it, and it didn't quite sit right. But, the core titles, spectacular games, always worth going back to play. And, again, for a PS2 game to really hold up, you can go back and just play it. That's an achievement now because a lot of PS2 games, you're like, oh, I remember that game was awesome. And you go back and play, you're like, oh, this is like sand in my eyes right now.
No, like Ratchet and Clank were right there with like Destroy All Humans. Like, easily like still go back and play those.
Not only with the shooting and the platforming formula, but they also had a look that really worked with it. They knew what they had to work with. They didn't go overboard with the graphics. They just chose something that really, really worked with the system. The, kind of Pixar or more family-friendly looking characters, and it was just a really fun game to look at and a really fun game to play. So that pretty much that whole series, I go back and just randomly play those from time to time. And again, after playing the PS4 one, I was just hankering for more.
Actually, the PS3 ones, I think Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction was my favorite of the whole series, I think.
Yeah, because again, that was one of the last ones they made before the PS4 title, wasn't it?
There was Tools of Destruction, there was A Crack in Time.
Oh, right.
Which had some really great
because that was
time-based puzzles.
That one was done in chapters, though, wasn't it?
No. I don't know what you're thinking of.
I thought there was one that was like they released like chapter 1, and then you could there was a couple chapters you could do DLC or something for it. I thought there was one like that, or was that the Booty one though?
Quest for Booty was a single standalone.
Or maybe that's what I was thinking of because it was like a little download kind of one.
But then they did Nexus as well.
Oh, Into the Nexus, yes, yeah.
Was the last one.
Okay.
And it was okay. It was good. It was like a solid Ratchet and Clank title. But, I mean, Tools of Destruction, I think, was the high point for the whole series.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the new one, they essentially
it's more retcons. It's a retcon reboot, I guess?
It's a reboot / retcon where they put Dr. Nefarious in the first game as the ultimate guy who's behind, I don't remember the guy's, whatever the main antagonist was in the original game that
I don't even remember his name now.
He was only in the first one. So.
Yeah, he was like a scummy boss guy or whatever. But
But now it turns out he was working for Dr. Nefarious.
And that, of course, went hand
Chairman Drek.
And that went hand in hand with the movie they released at the same time.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which nobody saw.
I went to see it. Actually, me and Commander Senda.
I saw it too.
Yeah,
I saw it too.
It was a good time.
It was okay.
It was one of those things, like, if you like Ratchet and Clank, you'll like the movie. If you're not too hot on it, you won't really like the movie.
Not get much out of it. All right, so let's catch up on a few things. Apparently, Necro found out that John Romero is speaking on monetization in games near him. I would be really interested to hear if you were going to go see that, like, what the takeaway was.
Yeah, absolutely. If you give us some feedback on it, that'd be great.
Grant says New Game Plus is something he has never experienced because he's got the attention span of a squirrel.
Hey, as long as you're enjoying your games, that's all that matters.
Him and Albel, a pair of them. Let's see. Yeah, Into the Nexus. Oh, and now everyone is talking to each other.
They're having a good time. Yep. Okay, so anyways, that's my New Game Plus. I will.
Necro is going to see it. Excellent.
Sweet.
Report back. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, just take a little notepad or something with you and write down some points. But yeah, so that's my New Game Plus. I always go back and play those. Yep. They're always a blast.
I really wish that they would do a remaster of their remaster for the PS3 because they had that collection.
And you see, I would love that, but I know they're not going to do it because they want to continue their soft reboot of Ratchet & Clank on PS4,
which I would absolutely support as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it basically.
Right. So Ratchet & Clank Kiwami. All right, and I'm going to actually controversially, I'm going to reference a rather new game.
Okay.
Because
so it's one that you're just constantly playing then.
Well, I was thinking about this over the last couple of weeks because like a combination of playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey and the Kickstarter, I really felt the hankering. I need to go back and play Horizon again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Horizon Zero Dawn is only a 2-year-old game, I think, at this point.
Yeah, it would have been February last. No, it was this year, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't this year.
Was it? Oh, right. No,
God of War was this year.
It was February last year then, because we were talking about Game of the Year stuff
right.
Year,
it was our Game of the Year last year.
And Guerrilla likes to release their games in February.
Yes. So it's only a year and a half old.
Yeah.
Oh, it's October. It's almost 2 years old.
Almost 2.
God damn it. Anyway, so long story short, I've already played the game through, I want to say, twice.
Well, because you played it, and then you did New Game Plus,
yes.
and then there was the DLC.
I did the DLC. I didn't do the DLC the first time because it wasn't out. So when I went back for New Game Plus to do the Nightmare, the hardest difficulty, I did the DLC at that point. Wow, was that a mistake? I really liked how the DLC integrated into the storyline.
Yeah, it wasn't just like, go to this area to experience the DLC. Yeah. It actually entwined with the story.
Yeah. And the dialogue actually changed depending on what you did in the game. And some of the characters' dialogues later would reference that information. Depending on when you do it in the storyline, it would actually... they recorded new dialogue for all the main characters. Yeah. So they got Lance Reddick back in to do some voiceover work. Or they planned it out ahead of time, one or the other, but more Lance Reddick.
It's always a good thing.
Right. They still haven't put out a PC version. If you're thinking about a PC version of Horizon, I would not hold your breath.
It's not going to happen.
No, Sony does not.
Guerrilla is in Sony's pocket, so they're pure Sony.
Yeah, so Horizon Zero Dawn, from the beginning of the game, let me put it this way. I have never been impressed by a tutorial before. And literally, in the first half an hour of the game, you do the tutorial. And the way the tutorial is constructed, Guerrilla has you... it explains the world to you. It tells you who this character is. It makes you care about this character. And it starts giving you background on the world, on what her quest is going to be and why that quest is important to both to her and to the greater storyline.
Yeah.
All in half an hour while teaching you the mechanics of the game.
Exactly.
Like the whole mechanics naturally through what you're doing.
And there's games that can literally spend an hour in a tutorial and all they do is teach you how to press buttons in the game, and it's incredibly annoying. Like,
and I talked about this. We contrasted both Horizon and Mass Effect Andromeda, which came out concurrently, basically at the same time, and that was in, I guess, the old podcast. Compared to, it was such a stark contrast with Mass Effect Andromeda. It's like, oh no, we're starting to lose gravity. Go up to this thing and press a button to interact with it. It's like, okay, press X to interact. Great. Now you've learned how to do this, and you've saved us all.
You learned how to press a button, which could have been done at any point in the game.
Anyone who caught the original playthrough of Andromeda, there was a few hours before I really got into the swing of that I was really doubting this was going to be a good game. But that tutorial, like after coming from Horizon, the tutorial for Mass Effect Andromeda was gritting. In the eyes. Anyway, so long story short, the storyline of Horizon is this is a post-apocalypse. Something has happened to the Earth. All of the animals, or most of the animals, are dead, aside from some various small animals. And replacing them are these giant robotic animals.
Versions of the animals that are now missing.
That are doing oddly organic things in this world. Like you'll see things that look like deer, they're grazing. For some reason, that's important to them. And, you know, they will run in herds. They will hide if you, like, startle them. And there are other animals that are predators that will attack you and stuff. So that's the first mystery. What the hell happened to humanity? Why are these giant monsters there? But this is how these people have evolved. They've grown up with this for hundreds of years. This is the way their world has been for recorded history for them. So they are now evolving societies in a different way in this new world than they would have done in a post-apocalypse where they were just busy dying out. So it's very interesting to see in this world where they're hunting machines, how that affects their commerce, their construction, their culture, their belief systems and everything. So they went into like huge world building background on all of these different races. There was like 5 or 6 different tribes. Each one was distinct. They had their own outlook, their own clothing, their own attitudes.
Yeah.
So visually they were all distinct, even though I never saw 2 NPCs that had the same pieces of clothing on.
Yeah, and they talked about that in kind of their tech demo version of it, where they said they designed hundreds of different pieces, and then they had an algorithm to kind of slap them all together to make all these individual NPCs, so you never really saw the same one twice.
Yep. And these monsters, these giant animals, these giant creatures, they looked like they were real. And that was the thing that Gorilla said. Like, all of them had moving parts. There was the Thunderjaw, which was like the T-Rex looking thing.
Yeah.
Had literally hundreds of individual components that when you attack them or damage them, parts would fly off depending on where damage was occurring. It would have different effects on the animal. Sometimes it would shut down some of their systems. It would cause them to react in certain ways. It would change their behavior. It would change their ability to resist being pinned down. Like, such complexity and grounded realism in something that was just patently fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're basically going at these giant robotic creatures with nothing more than a bow and arrow. And you start off, you're thinking, oh my God, I'm Pablo. I'm going to just get pasted against the ground by the first one, right?
Yeah.
But by the end of the game, you're like an explosive hurling badass.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Exactly.
It's very empowering. So
and it's one of those games that kind of allows you to play the game not exactly the way you want, but you can kind of sculpt your character to the way you want to play. So you can play very stealthy. You can play upfront assault. You can play with traps. You can play with heavy weapons. You can.
Exactly.
They give you those options, and
a lot of those weapons I never used, but any one of those options were legitimate. You could play how you wanted to,
except for the sling launcher or whatever.
Oh, I use that all the time.
Oh, really?
Man.
I wasn't a fan of that one.
For the elemental effects.
I guess, yeah. If you're really elemental heavy, then that.
When you're playing on the high level, like the nightmare mode or whatever the highest difficulty is, you had to. Yeah. Because
you had to play the weaknesses of the enemies.
And you had to be prepared for that all the time. It was ridiculous. So it depends on the situation.
And Jay Tanuki, of course, says it's a magnificent game. Another reminder of the importance of influence of single player experience. As we're huge fans of that here. We're not big on online gaming. We like that single-player experience, and it's still very, very important to gaming.
It's a very compelling story. The gameplay itself is amazing. It has a great post-game content, and the DLC was such a huge addition, like a massive chunk of additional activities and land, and it really brings the world to life that it fits so well together.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kill Them All, welcome very much to the chat. I'm glad that you were able to make it to the show finally.
I really, Kill Them All says he needs to get out of the online gaming genre. Well, I mean, you need to diversify your taste a little bit.
And that's the whole thing is, like, I know that you do your Twitch streaming, and if that's what your audience wants to watch you play, play to that strength. But in your spare time or whatever gaming time you're doing, if you diversify and you go into single-player experience, if that's something you haven't had a lot of experience with, we'd be more than happy to suggest a few games for you to play.
Oh, I can make you a list.
Because that's our wheelhouse. That's what we love.
I made Keith a fucking list.
Yeah, exactly. I even threw him a list on Twitter when he was like, what should I play? And I sent him like 20 games.
Yeah, he keeps telling me he hasn't played Red Dead Redemption yet. And I'm like,
yeah.
Or Uncharted. He hasn't played any of the Uncharted games.
Oh, what a misstep on that one.
Those are also ones that make my new game.
Kill 'em all, I hear that. I mean, spare time is fleeting these days.
Indeed. But I just want to take this opportunity while we got Kill Them All on the stream, since he doesn't always make it, or very rarely makes it. He always has such great things to say about us.
Yes,
absolutely. And I just want to say now that it's on the other end. I really appreciate all the fantastic things you said about us.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate your faith. We've actually got a big announcement coming up in the next couple of weeks. I can't talk about it yet, but a new partnership that might be exciting for us here. At
It might
Fiasco.
be the next level of Digital Fiasco.
Yes,
So yes, definitely looking forward to it.
Just in time for season 3.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a present for Digital Fiasco.
Very much so. So I just want to say, I appreciate all the kind things you said. I had to clip some of the stuff he said because it's like, oh my god, it's like
he's just gushing, and it's great to hear because we've been doing this for a while, and it's always good to hear some of that feedback like that to know we're doing something right.
The package deal, boys. Well, I don't like to brag.
The production quality is impeccable because we have our own mugs. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, the mugs. That was a solid investment on my part.
Absolutely.
We have to get more of these.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a nice piece of swag, I think. Give away some of those for our next 12-hour stream.
Sweet. No, Janus Marine, we're not giving away mypillow.com.
No.
They're not an official sponsor yet.
Not an official sponsor. All right, so Horizon Zero Dawn.
You know the funniest part is when you mentioned it, I don't blame you one bit for saying that it is. This is like this is a game kind of for the ages, because even in my mind, I know it's only been out for, just under 2 years now, and I'm already like, I need to play this game again.
I can see this being in my regular replay rotation. Like the Uncharted series, I replay that like every year, every couple years. Same with you, Ratchet & Clank, Suikoden, Yakuza less so because they're fucking long as hell, but I can pick up and play those anytime.
Yeah.
But yeah, Horizon is now going to be in the regular rotation that I will always come back to because it's such an amazing like single package. Like it does not, I don't think it does anything truly unique aside from maybe the animal construction.
Yeah, like outside of some of the graphics and the AI in it per se, outside of that, it really doesn't break the mold.
No,
but it enhances every aspect of that mold.
Yeah, it definitely like not only is it like every aspect of it is improved, but even the UI, some quality of life improvements in your quest logs and whatnot.
Yeah,
like little things like that go a long way. And it makes a huge difference when you're playing a game, you're doing the same action over and over again to have it streamlined and make it easier for you. Like, I couldn't say enough about Horizon when it came out. We gave it Game of the Year last year.
Yeah.
It's still an amazing game. We got to start making our lists for 2018.
Oh, don't get ahead of yourself. That's what November's for. We're busy right now.
I'm just saying,
shit's coming up. So
Red Dead is coming out, and then nothing else is going to matter for the rest of the year.
We'll take some of the few moments in November that are quiet to start constructing a list.
All right, Commander Santa would take a mug. Well,
of course he would.
Point people towards our online store.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our show for this week, folks. Thank you very much for joining us. And by the way, for those of you out there who haven't done already, check out Kill Them All on Twitch. Go out and check out his channel.
Go and give him a follow.
Yeah, he's got some fantastic content. He's an all-around good guy, and I'm not just saying that because he basically, gave us so many good compliments. It was starting to get like I think he needed to give me a reach around at that point. But it was very.
Well, he's a little far for that, but yeah,
it'll be a long reach. I think he's from Chicago, actually. So
yeah,
Chi-Town.
So yeah, good times.
Yep. So if you like what we are and what we do here, please tell your friends and fellow gamers to follow us here on Twitch. You can hit the button at the bottom. And you can reach out to us on Twitter at digital_fiasco. Ask us any questions you want. Tell us what you think about our show.
And tell us anything you might want to see on future shows.
Yep. We would love to hear from you, even if you think that the Aeneid was superior to the Odyssey, which is just ludicrous.
Sounds like you'd like to have a discussion about that sometime.
I would not. I would absolutely not. The Aeneid was a far inferior epic poem. I actually have read both the Aeneid and the Odyssey.
Well, aren't you accomplished?
Well, I was an English major. I mean, it comes with the territory.
I guess that was kind of needed.
I have long reach, boys. Wait, wrong chat. I don't know.
Yep, never the wrong chat.
No, he's got my motor running now. All right, you're killing me, Smalls. All right, that's it for us for this week, folks. Tune in tomorrow for, of course, Comic Sans. We will have Kelly and Albel back to talk about, I'm assuming, what was the new one this week? Did they have the Captain Marvel trailer? Was that the new one this week? The actual one? No, that was last week.
That was last week. I don't know if they talked about it.
Oh, it was the Daredevil 3.
Oh, yes.
Daredevil Season
the Daredevil 3.
With the traditional...
Yep, the teaser.
My God,
yes.
Kingpin.
They called it the Burn teaser, which I watched it, and yes, I am so fucking ready for it.
I'm not really stoked that Matt Murdock is going back to the black, like the Dread Pirate Roberts outfit.
absolutely love that outfit.
It was,
and
but
Vincent D'Onofrio steals that fucking show, and he's back in full force in the white suit. So I am so fucking ready for
and he's
this.
going to be off the chain now.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
He's going to be like classic Kingpin.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I cannot see Matt Murdock in the black outfit without thinking like Dread Pirate Roberts, rodents of unusual size.
Yeah, whatever.
Bit, you know?
I love it.
The fire swamps.
Anyways, we'll have more of a say in the chat tomorrow. Of course, the dynamic duo will be back tomorrow for Comic Sans.
7 p.m. Central Time. Join us then, and I'll be producing.
Yep. All right.
That's a show. Good night, folks. Thanks for joining us. If you want to stick around a couple minutes, we're going to find someone here locally to throw the raid onto and pass the love forward. Anyway, thanks very much for coming out, especially you, Kill 'Em All. Check him out. And Commander Santa, glad you're doing better, and nice to see you back in the stream. All right, good night, everyone.
What was your name?
Who?
You. What's your name? You have to sign off.
I'm going to sign off by name.
We always sign
That's
off.
why we have chyrons. They can read. It's right there. What are you doing?
All right, whatever.
All right.
I'm Dandr0id. We'll see you next week.
And I'm Jack McBastard. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.